some technical issues are incredibly complex. They definitely weren't just that something was muted on someone's computer somehow. Anyway, we're past that now. So we are definitely went a bit later than we intended to, but we have the crew we intended to have. And so for that, I'm thankful. I'm going to mute my mic while I move 1 second. Otherwise, everyone will be deafened. Beautiful. All right. So, we are joined this evening by the Evil Party. I will get them to introduce themselves in a moment. Before we get to that, though, did want to give a shout out, as mentioned on the Good stream before. Shout outs to Brother Pete, or Petro, as he is in the Good stream. He has made us some tunes, which are playing in the background. I'm going to have to get at some point, someone to kind of specifically employed to vary tunes, but anyway, we'll get there. I'll have to change this one at some point. Actually, what I can do, let me give you guys the links, and if you guys feel the mood changes, all you need to tell us Groovy is to play the new song. Where are we?
Yeah, I listened to some of Brother Pete's stuff the other day, and yeah, it sounded pretty good.
Yep, the man knows what he's doing.
Yeah, good. Great job.
So yeah, as said, his tune's in the background at the moment. Shout outs to him. Shout outs to the Good Party earlier as well. You got around to quite some shenanigans. I'll give you guys the playlist. Basically, if you click... Oh, now they're getting double the music. If we feel the mood changes at any point, if you go from that playlist, choose a particular one, and then just go to play Groovy. Anyway, that said, I'll leave that in your capable hands, gentlemen. We'll do a bit of background as to where we are, why we are. Oops, hang on, need to put Discord back for the cameras. Silly me. All right, beautiful. We have our gentlemen back. So, okay then, let's do a bit of a recap. Maybe a bit less detailed than normal, because this is almost, I guess, a side quest. Basically, since the Evil Party have kind of met up with each other and recognized each other for the dreams they've kind of had their whole lives, they have basically been doing a tour of Daggerford's underworld, where they have slain back and forth, and they have worked in the service of Daggerford's local organised crime gang, the Daggers, whom they then double-crossed in service of the Zentarum. They then pondered double-crossing the Zentarum, but ended up realising they were on a pretty good wicket with the Zentarum, and so agreed to take out the leadership of the Daggers. So they have killed the person they believe to be a leader, or the leader of the Daggers, and that's kind of where we left things last time. They'd gone back to one of Benala's safe houses, Benala being their contact in the Zentarum, carrying the body of, surreptitiously to the extent they can, taking Wenzel's body as well. They've kind of gone back there, they've chilled for a bit, they've had some conversation. Basically at this point, Shalim has made clear that he would like to join the Zentarum, and Benala is happy to move in that direction. At this point, Carey kind of expresses that she's not really so keen in being involved. Carey's relationship with the Zentarum is very much one of convenience rather than affection at this stage, so she's not particularly keen to be involved. She is going to make her own way back to the Dagger's Rest, leaving you three gentlemen to do as you will. Let me move my light just slightly over here. Ah! Oh, there goes the... That'll do.
And death was never seen again.
Beautiful. There goes the arm of my chair. Every time I move, it's great. So Carey makes her way back to the Dagger's Rest. Benala asks that you wait for him a moment. For an hour or two, he just needs to kind of make his rounds. So Benala does return a short time later, and he's looking very, very flustered and very annoyed, which is unusual in your observations of Benala to date. He is very calm. For example, when you guys were kind of involved in intense negotiations with him and Wenzel. He was always a very relaxed kind of party. So to see him flustered is something a bit different. He kind of bursts in the door, and you can see he's quite angry, and he's like, "Those fuckers are going to pay.
Who are you talking about?
The bloody Harpers. I know they're behind it. They're bloody well gone. Thrown.
Charlie spits.
They've thrown an orc head down the chimney of my place of business. An orc head that just so happened to be one of my field agents. And they have also set fire to said safe house, and it has since burned down.
Do you have the head? Can we see it?
Can you see it? You can look out. You can look
No, that's
out.
me.
What,
I was
sorry?
gonna say that's me speaking, like to the guy. Can we? Do you have it? Can we see it?
Can you see the safe house?
The head.
The head.
No, like look. Basically, from what I'm advised by my underlings, no sooner had they been like, "What on earth is a head with "run" written on its carved into its forehead?" doing in the fireplace? Next minute, the whole place was ablaze. So sadly, no, the head was not retained. That hardly seems important right now, though. Right now, what is important to me is revenge. I want some Harpers dead. You, Shalim, would like to join our organization.
I feel it is necessary and prudent, Banala.
Well, I can see it getting heated, D-Bax. D-Bax, by the way, boys, Cannon thinks you suck, so there you go. Kat, do you have to...
You suck.
I can see a way we might both meet pleasing ends in this endeavor. How about you kill me a couple of Harpers, and I ensure that serves as your initiation in the highest of standings into my esteemed order. What do you think?
Plus, we get to fight.
Yes, there is
Right,
that too.
Shalim?
Andre?
Will we get more money for this?
I mean,
Fair question.
the wealth of kingdoms untold await those who serve in the Zentarum. We are not short of money. Certainly, if you are to have your friend here officially become one of us.
I cannot buy an ale with promises.
I whisper to Andre and just say, think of all the wondrous and ancient things that have no doubt been built by your draconic ancestors. And he kind of licks his lips with his forked tongue as he says it, eyes glazed over with thoughts of opportunities and potential plans.
And I look over at Andre and say, and sort of give him like a little shadow box on the shoulder. We get to fight.
I like to fight, but my family does not build. We live in cave. We don't need to build.
I tell you what, Andre, complete this task for me, and I will ensure when you are in Daggerford that you you never want for food, lodging, all that. I will ensure you're taken care of, and that there are future far more lucrative opportunities that will ensure your family never need go hungry. Just first.
Oh, I don't care about the rest of my family anymore. They're very far away. I just care about myself.
Okay, well, you shall certainly not want for food and lodging while in Daggerford. In fact, if you would like to join with Shalim, you would all certainly be welcome.
Fights?
I try to pull him along. I'm gonna try to grab Andre's meaty wrist, and I'm going to say, "Come now, let's go with the nice wizard."
Yeah. So basically, basically at this stage, still, Andre's just all about survival. So if Andre thinks it's advantageous, to his survival. Like that's all he cares about. I'm pretending to care about Shalim because he's hired me, but in the back of his mind, Andre, all Andre cares about is
Sorry, I
his
gotta
own
check
survival.
something. Sorry. Up
No,
next.
no, it's no.
And so the way Shalim's talking, it sounds like this will help towards his survival. So Andre's going to go along with it.
All right, beautiful. So it just so happens that I do have some knowledge of the Harper network. They we have, I suppose you could call, a double agent in place. There's someone I specifically want taken out. She is one of the high commanders of the Harpers in Daggerford. I need to click in the right window over here. Her name is Elven and slightly strange. I need you to take out for me the minstrel Thurstal Ormek. She is an elven bard of not insignificant power.
Middling?
Yes, within your capabilities, I should think.
So you just want us to kill? You just want us to kill her?
Well, it may not prove such a simple job, unfortunately. And I might pause for a second here, as this is the stuff that will be relevant for Orc as well. Allow you guys to do some planning. While that's going on, we didn't actually do introductions. So while we're there, if you would like to say hello and describe your character, start with you, Andre.
Hey, I'm Tyrone. I play Andre. My character Andre, he's a big burly white dragonborn. He's from the other side of the world, a harsh, cold environment, and he's traveled to the coast over this side of the world because let's just say he was kicked out of his homeland for being a bit too brutal, and that's all we need to know for now. Anyway, and so he's come to make a new life for himself over this side of the country, and then I ran into this little snaky dude, Shalim, and just purely for my own survival, I thought, hey, I'll team up. I'll let him hire me as a bodyguard because it's a new foreign land to Andre. So I don't know the customs around here. Like I don't know that it's not okay to just go around like skewering people and just and cooking them on spits in the middle of the street.
I love that you're so brutal. Other barbarians exiled you.
Yeah. So basically, I'm a dragonborn, big white dragon barbarian, and who carries around a gigantic hunting spear, and I've got a bunch of smaller throwing spears on my back, and yeah, I really like skewering my meat. Let's just say.
And
that's Andre. Like he's pretty simple. He's not a very complicated character.
And Wolf, if you would like to introduce yourself / your character.
Hey, yeah, I'm D-Wolf. My character is Shalim Lush. He's a UNT sorcerer. A strange
Tell the people
Titan
what a
hearted
UNT
fellow.
is.
Yeah, he's snake. Well, he basically looks like a human, but if you look close enough at him, you can see that he is like a snake. He's got like snake eyes and things like that. And I teach judo, by the way, so you can check out Zenyo Judo. And shout outs to Lazy Eggsy. Lazy Eggsy, I'm still using the beautiful artwork of the UNT that you did. And I'm going to continue to do so unless you tell me otherwise. So much respect.
Yeah, so we're just introducing ourselves and our characters. Krim, if you would like to introduce yourself and your character, and then we'll get cracking with the action.
Sure. So I'm Krim, also known as that's it. And I play Orc. And shout out to I don't know. I guess could we shout out you and me? We might have a YouTube channel soon or
Wait,
whatever.
We might do. We might do
We
it.
might-
wait. What is Orc?
Yeah,
Introduce
That's not
yourself.
important. Okay, Orc is now a level 3. Yes, a monk. Trying a homebrew, self-made. So don't worry, it's totally balanced. What do you call it? A side build or whatever subclass.
What does Orc look like?
Is he an
Way up
orc?
the
Is
close.
he an elf?
So, Orc is a wood. What are you trying to coach me? Wood. Orc is a wood elf who is particularly unattractive and not rivetingly good in terms of general social charisma.
Oh, so that's what they tease you. So that's why they've given you that nickname.
Because
so,
you look like an
so
orc.
it's all falling into place now.
It
So
is, oh, you
so
just
you're-
delving for info. Oh, that's sneaky. In my intro too. Jeez, guys.
It's all good, bro. He doesn't know in character. It's all good.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's at the moment and probably forever. It'll come off as a bit of a one-dimensional character in terms of enthusiasm and whatnot. But there's a lot of I've had discussions with our games operation director, also known as God, and we're gonna have some background storyline come out at some point. Should be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, and yeah, I don't know. At some point, I guess you and me might do a reactions channel called. Do we agree on unstable reactors?
Oh my god! I think
Something like that.
surely that's taken. It has to be. If not, we just copyrighted it.
Wait, what did you say it was called?
Unstable reactions.
Unstable reactors.
I
Okay.
don't think it exists yet, but in the near future. But surely someone's already got that name.
Yeah,
But if
we
not,
were thinking about what were you with subject-wise? Politics, maybe
a bit of
gaming.
everything. Bit of everything.
Politics. That's dangerous on YouTube, isn't it?
Especially with me doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, hang on. We're on Twitch right now. I just remembered.
Centrism.
Yeah, no. Look, I like everything. I don't like anyone who's bad, and I like all the people who are good. So, whatever you think is good and you think is bad, I probably agree. We'd get on fine. Moving along quickly. But no, that is the thing that will probably happen. I'm sure I will promote it when it does. So basically, Banala explains that he explained, just as you were gone, Orc, that essentially he's got a double agent, and so he's got a bit of an idea of what's going on within the Harpers in Daggerford. He wants a particular Harper taken out. I'm going to have to look up her name again because it's ridiculous. Thirstili Ormek. She is an elven bard, and he's basically, that's where we got up to explain that he wants her, and so he's now going to explain the following words that come from my mouth. So I know that she will most probably be located in their clubhouse. It's a small building in the Caravan District, rather nondescript, and he's going to actually, because he's so knowledgeable of this area, he can actually give you a layout of the clubhouse itself, which I will show to you.
Are you gonna change the groovy to like nightclub music?
It's not that kind of. It's more like a bikie clubhouse than a club, if you know what I mean. So there's just
like,
people quietly drinking and
Judas
that
Priest,
sort of
that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. Hang on, I need to move. Before I do that, these guys really need to get on a different layer. Get on a different layer, you guys. Get on
your level.
Layer. GM layer, beautiful. Okay, now I can show you. Now we're safe. Not that there's people in there. It'd be a pretty appalling mission if there wasn't. So this is, as he explains it to you, the layout of the clubhouse. So basically, you're dealing with a bar, an entry and an exit at the front and the back, both of which. So the back exit goes out into an alleyway, a quieter alleyway, and the front one goes out onto a main street. The front one being at the bottom, the back exit being at the top behind the bar. That is the totality of the building. There's a bit of a kitchenette behind the bar, your usual bar supplies, barrels, things like that. But that is essentially the clubhouse. There's no windows, as you can imagine, being that they're a somewhat secretive organisation. They don't exactly want people peering or looking in. Banala Tea also does convey it's not open to the public, so you'd have to think about how you would gain entry as well. And also, he points out the reason why I have left this for your final test is that this is quite a busy area. It is in a public street. Discretion will be an absolute necessity. Prove to me that you are capable of doing this and being discreet and not being caught out or it coming back to me, and I will ensure you are looked after.
Okay, so I say, we are very discreet, and I try to intimidate him.
With a crit success.
What is with my character, dude? Honestly.
So he's like...
I'm trying.
So, like, Banala's like, okay, I believe... good, great. I believe you. Good, awesome. I've chosen the right people, definitely. So I guess...
I mean, he asked us to prove it, right? So
yeah. So I guess in terms of what you're able to learn of... Actually, someone roll me a history. Actually, I'd say it's common knowledge. You're reasonably aware that it's not unusual for bardic types to have some affinity or ability with magic along with their instruments. So it is quite likely that you may encounter... Well, it is known that Thirsteely is a magic user in the bardic sense. It's unlikely that she would be there alone. There usually aren't more than 3 or 4 harpers there at any one time, unless they're having a large gathering or something like that, though. So that is about the long and the short of what Banala knows. So if you want to discuss plans of attack, if that might involve needing to buy some things, we can do all of that stuff. So I'll let you guys chin wag with each other a minute, and then if we want to go shopping or we want to do this, we want to do that, we'll figure that out after you've had a chat.
So, all right. Does any... Sorry, go
Oh
ahead.
no, Charlene, do you want me to kick in door, or do you want me to just walk in first before we kill them all?
Hold. Now,
yeah, hold.
Things have gotten out of hand. Is Banala still around?
Yeah, he's still here. He's happy to chat.
All right. So, firstly, we are in a Zentarim safe house, correct? When he says all this, is there anyone else in the safe house?
No. So basically, your experience. So this is the same one that building in which I should say, Andre actually skewered a Zentarim to the wall, and so this is the small 2-story building with the kind of the study and 1 bedroom upstairs. It seems to kind of actually perhaps be his private residence, because it does have, like I said, the study area and a bed, and it's currently just you guys there. And Carey has, as said, just left.
Is there anything of note? Any books or? So Charlene is really interested in any far-flung operations. So Charlene's not actually that interested in what the Zentarim are doing in Daggerford. He doesn't give a shit. He's just sucking up in Daggerford so he can get with a wider network. So if there's any like notes or seals that like look like they come from different kingdoms, if there's any like Waterdavian connections.
Okay, so look, I mean, Banala's study desk, there is a host of different paper items. You don't recognise any particular seals. And I would suggest probably, you're welcome to ask Banala. But you got to bear in mind,
Charlotte's a clout chaser, is that's what we're gathering.
But also you would bear in mind that Banala's knowledge may necessarily be granular as per his station, but you're certainly welcome to ask him what he knows of the wider goings on in the world.
Okay, well, I will ask. I will ask, how strong are the Harpers in this region? And I speak not just about Daggerford, but about the surrounding. Do they control the river trade? Do they control the roads?
And if we
To what
defeat them,
extent
does
are
our
they a
reputation
thorn
go
in
up?
your side, Banala? To what
Harpers,
extent?
I'm happy to talk about the scourge that is the Harpers. They are troublesome pests indeed. So the Harpers aren't ones for control as such. Their primary stated goal is the preservation of knowledge. Therefore, quite often their membership is made up of bards, wizards, things like that. They have a particular affinity and affection for the arcane. They operate as a secret society, and essentially they make it their mission to thwart evil. And alas, due to their rather poor and mistaken judgment, this includes interference with the Zentarum. They are a scourge on us throughout the Sword Coast, constantly interrupting our operations. And to be honest, in much of the Sword Coast, it is an underlying conflict. Certainly in any of its bigger cities, you will find Harpers and Zentarum scheming against one another well, look, it's about control if you ask me. They just want a different kind of control, whereas I prefer the orderly, profitable control that the Zentarum bring. They're essentially deluded ideologues, clinging to some foolish notion of goodness. And they need to be taught a sharp lesson in practicality over morals. They're a balance. Well, I would say they're wildly out of balance, or at least they need to be brought to some semblance of balance. Preferably one that leaves them neutered and toothless and stops them nipping at my heels.
Are there any items, specifically magical in nature, that they might employ against us?
They are known collectors of and lovers of magical items. It fits within their stated remit, as you would imagine. So certainly, I mean, it would not be unusual for a Harper to utilize magic items. As to whether specifically Thirsteely does or not, I am unsure.
Yes, of course. Weak book readers spend all their day sitting around reading books. They would need magic to boost their strength because they're not strong. Don't worry, I'll happily take care of them. These weakling book readers.
So orcs.
How many are they?
So hang on, orcs insight check. Look, as far as you read, and you have obviously rolled quite a decent insight check. What specifically? Tell me a bit. His motives towards the opposing faction.
Bending the truth.
He appears to be speaking the truth, and to what little extent you guys have heard of the Harpers, and I'd say probably orc based on your background to some extent. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd have some knowledge of the Harpers. You other two are a bit more from a bit more far flung regions, but orc has some kind of regional knowledge. It gels with everything you know about them, which is limited. I mean, they're a secret organisation. And it just appears that he just really, really hates them. They're genuinely a thorn in his side. And he probably wouldn't generally, you gather from your check, he wouldn't normally do this. However, he's utterly incensed that they have actually, he feels, struck directly at him.
So this is payback.
Yeah,
this is just
essentially. Yeah,
reflex of payback.
Yeah.
So, is there any non-discreet options, Vanilla?
That would be up for you to determine. I mean, if you want.
Oh, sorry, I'm just basing it on before they said you wanted a discreet.
Well, you're going to have to be very conscious of what happens if you make a significantly loud din, or a harper is to run out of the building screaming, or so, you're going to have to plan this in such a way that you are not caught and it does not lead back to me.
Good. Okay.
So we're going to the caravan district. We're going to go there with the city guard, presumably on some kind of alert. I mean, after all, we did explode a person, and then, we really majorly fucked with some democratically or officially elected meat bag type creatures.
Look, yes, Daggerford is currently in a level of chaos, but actually, I think if anything, that benefits us. I think a lot of, I suppose the fire, it depends when you're going to do it. The building's currently on fire, which is a decent distraction, but if you want to take advantage of that, that does, of course, limit your planning time. I just know that's a fairly definite place to catch Thirsteely. She is wary, as she has to be, like me, to some degree careful, as she is a bit of a public figurehead. So basically...
But this much we know. We know that she knows where you live. We know that
she knows at least one Zentarum. So basically...
as soon as we leave this dwelling...
No. So for background,
we're being watched.
No. So for background, and this was made a bit clearer with the good group. So the Zentarum have a public front, and the public front for the Zentarum is that they just hire out mercenaries. We're not evil. We don't do skullduggery. We just are a mercenary company. Do you want to hire? So he has a place of business that is a public Zentarum front. So basically, it's the public Zentarum front, not his own residence, that's been attacked and basically, orc-headed and burnt down. So basically the good party, your characters don't know this obviously, the good party had killed an orc that was actually paid to be there by a Zentarum to essentially cause trouble so that Salazar would hire them as private security. So basically the good party threw the orc head down the chimney, and as they were leaving, basically shot a fire arrow into a bedroom, setting a bed on fire. So basically the public front, where Benalla wasn't at the time because he was with you guys, so he wasn't there at the time. But the operatives that were there saw the head, was like, what's going on here? Oh shit, the place is on fire. So that's a bit of context that may stretch obviously beyond what your character knows, but may make things gel a little better in terms of what's going on.
It certainly does, but it would be pretty cool if Benalla was name dropping. He was like, I'm starting to hear stories of
So I would say probably Benalla is not really the type. Look, we'll see what happens when you're out and about in town, because I dare say that, your average citizen might not know about you, but anyone with an ear to, the lower, underworldy type of end of town's probably got some awareness that you're at least an interesting group of people that probably aren't to be taken lightly.
They will know about us. Shall we name our group? Shall we be mercenaries? Shall we make ourselves official assassins? Or shall we skulk about in the shadows? Orc, what say you?
I love assassins. I want to be an assassin, absolutely. I'm ready to fight. Come on, Andre, come on, let's go. And I sort of try to in vain push him or pull him, whichever way.
I do not care for the name. As long as I get to kill, I don't care whose name I kill under.
Well,
yeah, what he said, yeah.
How about we call ourselves the Inconstant Killers? No,
yeah, we're totally incontinent. Absolutely, let's go.
All right. So what I would suggest is you definitely want to figure out doing this one. Well, it's up to you guys. You can just walk in the front door if you want, but I would probably think about planning, and I would probably think about plans that might help with. I mean, noise is probably going to be a big thing, I guess. Anyway, and you guys have an entire city to. If you want to procure resources, the city is at your service. It's all on you guys at this point.
Are we still in his office?
Yep, so you're sitting around planning. And,
What's the weather outside like?
Okay, so I said with the good group that it was a pleasant summer's day. So that has not changed in the space of a few hours. Sorry.
Okay.
It's probably early
that's an
afternoon at this point, though.
That's an accidental fourth wall. So we're only a few hours behind them. Is that what you're saying?
At this point, no, it'll vary. It entirely varies. Sometimes you wouldn't necessarily assume the chronology is always exactly what it was at the time.
That backstepping is amazing.
Well, no, you saw that they put out your
kidding.
fire, so there is time anyway.
Yeah. No, it's a cool.
Fucking
Ugly Deeds. Ugly Deeds is like really fitting because Andre's fucking Andre's got a terrible charisma.
And
So
it's ugly
Andre-
and charismatic as well. I like it. So
Yeah.
Ugly Deeds.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Charisma is for suckers. I got a high five orc. No.
All right. I'll put that in the notes.
I'll basically look at both of them and be like, I guess they're ugly too.
Charlie, by the way, is eating
Andre's
spiders.
just like brutal. Like he's just like, it's very. Anyway.
I want that on a t-shirt. Charlene, by the way, is eating spiders.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what Charlene does. It doesn't faze me anymore.
I'm used to it by now. I'm just worried now if he's not eating
There's
spiders.
a method in my madness. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to learn a famous spell that allows me to climb spider-like on the walls. And so Shalim, in his way, is trying to communicate to the other members of Ugly Deeds that he now has the spider climb spell. So I can climb like a spider over the roof, and then I can jump in through the roof and surprise Thirsteely while she's in the middle of the song or the bath or the bed or whatever.
One story. It's literally just a common room. One story. It's odd, but it's like if you imagine like a small town hall. It's basically like a small town hall. So if you open it, it's one room and a back door, and there is no upstairs. It's one room, common room, kitchen.
Trailer.
Is the roof okay, so is the roof flammable? Is it thatch? Is it thatched or slate?
I will say that it would be, because look, most of the buildings in Daggerford are thatch or wood. The exception being the top end of town and the Ducal Castle. So being this is in the caravan district, yes, it would be a thatched roof.
I thought you were gonna say, well, it's not now.
Yeah. Hang on, what doesn't work for you guys?
So I climb the roof. I set the roof on fire at a few different points in the thatch, using either tinder, just my fire bolts.
Nice one, Shalim. You're totally discreeting all over it.
And
setting things on fire
Andre-
seems to be like
Andre has himself a barbecue.
theme with this campaign.
I assume this is the actual building, not his office that we're still at. Or did we go?
He's planning at the moment, I think.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm not even here. Oh, I am as Banala. Banala has a giggle at you learning spider climb by eating spiders.
Technical maintenance that the DM is gone.
Andre can have himself a barbecue.
Oh yes, I like my meat. meat.
Skewer
barbecue.
them. Skewer them, my friend, on their way out of the clubhouse. It's just a single-story clubhouse, is it not?
So hang on. Yes, it is. It is. But tell me, what part of setting fire to a building and skewering the people that run out sounds discreet to you exactly?
Why? Are we not a sanctioned mercenary group? The discretion is legal discretion. We can accuse them of being witches.
I don't.
Wait,
don't think that's a good idea.
Andre turns to Charlene and is just like, what does discreet mean? What are they talking about?
It means let's not have everyone in the city know that we're killing harpers, is what it means.
Very well, very well. Let's do it all under the cover of darkness.
Isn't that
Let's
what
do
you
it at night.
hired us to do? I don't understand. You want us to kill harpers, but you don't want us to kill harpers.
I want you to kill harpers, but I don't want anyone to know that we killed harpers.
So why don't we just run and hide after? We are assassins after all.
Well, I mean, certainly if you can think of measures that you could take that would facilitate that successfully without you being discovered, by all means, do it.
Sounds like you're not being discreet. And then I'll roll intimidate.
He's like, oh, you're interesting. You're interesting. I'll keep my eye on you. Anyway, sorry, Shalom, you were saying?
I'm totally unaffected.
In the dead of night, when the exhausted city watch are in their beds and there's only one or two watchmen on the streets of Daggerford, we creep up on this clubhouse. I climb on the roof, set it on fire. Andre crouches in the darkness like a great hulking boulder, and Orc perhaps can slip inside. And as they mill about in confusion and perhaps try to head for the exits, we quickly kill them and then flee.
I can punch someone, sure.
I can kill quick, yes.
That's all I heard.
Perhaps
that's
Orc,
all Orc hears.
Perhaps Orc, you could tackle Thirstily, and then Andre, you could impale her, and it might look like she just fell and hurt herself very badly. Who knows?
Yeah, I can absolutely tackle her.
I do not need someone else to tackle for me to impale. Why don't I just impale?
Bards? I'm not sure how much I would know about magical bards as a sorcerer, but I think
you could roll me an Arcana check.
Yeah,
I'd take your word for it, boss.
See how if I roll well enough, I might know what spells they could cast and how wily they could be. Arcana?
Yep. So you have a ridiculously precise knowledge of exactly what bards can cast. So you're aware
Have you ever heard of Vicious Mockery, Andre?
So you would be aware that
What does that mean?
It's where they say
bad
words. They say bad words at you, and it results in you kind of fucking up. It's really quite aggravating, and it is somewhat mystical. Bards are mystical people.
Bad words don't hurt me. I'll just kill them. It's okay. People have said lots of bad words about me. I'm used to it. I'll just kill them.
All I'm saying is we should ignore the crap and focus on the cream. Thirstily is the target, and Thirstily is probably going to be a problem. I hear she's very problematic.
What was that?
That was just me taking the piss out. Problematic.
Okay, but yeah, for your Arcana check, you are aware.
Stop me from stabbing them.
You are aware that bards cast. a lot of their magic obviously tends towards charm magic. However, they do have some direct damage spells, and that tends to be the lion's share of what would be particularly relevant and what you're aware of. So yeah, charm spells and some direct damage, some buffs.
And some healing.
Yeah,
It's okay.
actually, that's fair. Actually, you are very right. Some healing, correct.
Mm.
Okay,
It's kind
Charlie.
of, it helps. It helps that I know I've played bards before.
It's okay, Charlie. Just you do the thinking. Just tell me where to stand.
Shall we wait till nightfall and creep up on this obstacle?
Wait. I guess. Yeah.
If you think that's best, I'll follow you. I'll follow you, both.
I will immediately do a meditation.
You might also say I have a cat on screen, so that's great.
Charlene pats the cat.
Look how entertained she is.
You have to retitle the stream to "Mad Pussy Included."
All right. So
get that algorithm right.
So are you guys going to? You just going as you are?
I think we're resting as we wait.
Andre doesn't know any better, so of course he is.
He doesn't. All right.
Orc is now awkwardly meditating, probably in his office still. I don't know if we're still there.
All right. So Orc is meditating. All right. So you're all passing.
Kind of like Geralt in The Witcher 3. He just kind not meditates anywhere.
I have not played any of the Witcher games. Now you've added
shame on you,
I
sir.
know. And now you've added. It. I'll put you while we're here. Let's put you guys on the
Oh no.
on the map.
Your nerd cred's gonna be revoked.
Now I know.
I'm DMing. I think I'll be okay.
Now I know we can react. We can react to just me reacting to you not playing Witcher.
Okay. I haven't played Witcher 3 either. So
I'm gonna chuck you guys.
I don't have any leg to stand on there.
It's a masterpiece of the 2010s for sure.
Okay, so
Best game last decade.
I'm more of a Breath of the Wild man myself.
how far away? As we step out the door, is anyone watching? Is anyone out on the street that's gonna fucking give us shit?
Nope. Everyone, this is the rich end of town. People don't stand around snooping in the rich end of town. You moved along. Someone will boff you on the head and say, "Oi, you're not rich enough to be loitering around here." So no, you certainly don't notice anyone.
They say it exactly like that.
Yeah, they say it exactly like
that.
Is there anywhere where we can buy Andre like a really awesome, massive coat to make him look like a massive noble?
You'd waited for nighttime, but I would be happy to retcon that maybe you went shopping for a coat instead. Of course.
Wait, why am I wearing it? Why am I wearing a coat?
Because I want to dress Andre up so that
Fancy.
he doesn't
Is this a sex
like.
thing?
Okay.
I don't want him to look like a psychotic white dragon barbarian.
No, yeah. In
Terrifying everyone.
Unless you also get me a mask that happens to completely disguise like what I am. That's just like no. I trust me. Like I'm just like I'm a giant brute. Like I just look like a giant ugly brute. No coat is going to disguise like how much of it just a big ugly brute I am.
I want to take his like little profile picture there and like Photoshop a top hat and a cigar jacket.
All right, you guys are now on the map. That's just a waiting place. Obviously, you will,
Okay. Well,
maybe we could get Andre
while we're hiding under
and some manacles, Chewbacca style. So we can do the Chewbacca, the Chewbacca trick where he comes in with the manacles, and then the manacles are just a fake, and he's like, "Psych, I'm gonna kill you."
Okay, that actually might work a lot better. Anyway, let's keep brainstorming that for a couple of minutes while Andre is lost in thought for a minute. I'll be back.
He's lost in thoughts. Yeah.
literally like lost and can't find him.
I'm lost in thought.
Yeah. I'm not really in a rush to do like a shopping session. I really am much more
Yep.
in a hurry to
kill
burn,
some
to
people.
smoke, have a smoke out. I want to see if I can smoke these guys out, but I'm happy for any other plans to unfold.
Do you know what you should do is you should put a bunch of icons on the map surrounding Andre, and then just when he gets back, just say, "Okay, it's your turn." Just like
I
that,
should-
like that
hang
escalated
on,
quickly. Like,
hang on, let me wait. I've got to do this quick. Hang on, I've got to get on the right object layer. Objects and tokens. Okay.
like just as he comes back, I'll say, "Okay, so I take 10 damage," and then you can just say, "Okay, it's your turn."
Hang on. Alright, so... Yeah, there we go. We're ready. Beautiful. What a prank, guys. What a prank. Where else do you get amazing entertainment like this? That's less enthusiasm than I was looking for, David.
Wait, does he have wireless headphones?
Probably.
Oh, you probably can hear us then.
No, I think he would have said. No, I'm pretty sure I saw him take them off anyway.
No, but I don't think he has a headset mic, so I think he probably can't talk back. He's out of the room.
I think I saw him take them off. I could be wrong. Alright, your turn, Andre.
Okay, so I take 10
Okay,
damage, is it?
10
Okay,
damage.
my
Yeah.
turn's
10
done.
damage.
Yeah, your turn,
Wait,
Andre.
Wait, we're taking damage? I thought we're still thinking. Sorry.
No, we were in
Where
there.
have
It's
you
your
been,
turn.
man? How long were you gone?
If
I
you
think
had-
he has,
Oh,
I think he has to
I
make a
was-
dex save, doesn't he? Does
I
he
was
have to make
lost
a
in
dex
thought.
save?
What's going on?
Are you still alive, Shalib?
Yeah,
I think I failed my first death save actually.
Wait! What happened? Since I got lost in thought, what happened?
I can't
you
believe it.
didn't realize how lost in thought you were, man. Like, days have
Oh
passed.
yeah, I'm
Everybody's
completely
dead.
oblivious. Oh yeah, I'm completely
No, we're-
oblivious. What?
No, it's
No,
all
we're
good.
just- we're just pranking,
This
man.
was
We're
our
just pranking.
terrible idea of a prank. We're lame.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was good
Actually,
fun.
I got the response I wanted. Actually, what the hell?
All right,
Yeah.
sorry. You guys were discussing and planning, etc.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think we're about to leave. Like we can play dress ups. We can get fancy with it, and we can play like we can try to Chewbacca
Sure.
Andre. But to be honest, I don't know if Charlim's even smart enough to come up with that plan.
And even if
He's-
you did,
he's
why would you,
intelligent.
like, I don't know that
He's
it would
low.
necessarily help.
Hey! Don't discount yourself. I'm sure Charlim's not that stupid. I have no idea how stupid Charlim is.
But also, I mean,
Oh, my
I'm just
intelligence
assuming
is -1.
My boy's
Charlie-
smart.
smarter than
even if you were
I'm
doing a
assuming
prisoner,
Charlie-
even if you were doing a prisoner handover, I mean, that'd be like, why are you like? I don't think it would. The Chewbacca approach would help you in any way.
This does not make sense. Oh,
That'd be
yeah,
like,
the Chewbacca
okay, you have
approach.
a big dick, but why are
He
you here?
gets it. He gets
Okay.
it.
Okay,
Yes, yeah. I get where
oh,
you're
the
going.
Chewbacca
Chris.
defense. Yeah.
So I was thinking. I think what Damon was like going with, which is like in the last movie where Chewbacca's all tied up, but you're going with the
That's
South Park Chewbacca.
Yeah. Oh, you could. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you guys were planning. Banala is like almost lost interest at this
Andre
point.
doesn't know what he's
back
doing.
season.
Just tell me what to do. I just boss. Just tell me what to do.
So towards the bottom end of the door at the bottom end of the screen, that's the door out to the main street. There is also the back door which goes out into a slightly quieter alleyway, just to orient you as to where you guys are.
Charlene, what should we do? So you wanting to set fire to the roof still?
Yes, and Charlim actually wants to run. Charlim is going to run ahead of everyone else and say, I'll see you at the clubhouse, because he wants to get a good fire going before everyone else. So he's just going to like start sprinting towards the clubhouse.
All right.
But if he sees anyone, he will try to stay out of their line of sight.
Okay.
He'll do obvious, due diligence.
So are you on the back
stealthing.
side or the front side? Where are you?
He wants to climb up. He wants to find the hardest spot to climb up so he can use his spider climb ability.
All right. Okay, so
His
around
spell.
the back side of the clubhouse. So the rest of the clubhouse is kind of wooden slats, which should be far too easy to climb. Why would you want to do that? There is a small area around the back of the clubhouse that's been smoothed a little bit more, almost like rendered, plastered sort of thing. There do appear to be the odd hand and foothold, but definitely a more challenging climb if you were climbing for the sole purpose of proving your climbing abilities. All right. Okay, vertical surfaces, beautiful.
Yeah.
You basically go up to the plasterwork and
Well, I need a bit of. I scrounge around for a little bit of bitumen and a spider, and I mold it into a little ball, and I hum and I mutter and I stutter, and I transmute my body to be better able to walk on these surfaces.
And then to the shock of no one, because I assume, maybe some hobo's like, what? As Shalim goes rocketing up the quite slick and relatively smooth surface. It's quite an impressive feat. While that's happening, Orc, in a moment of intense planning and inspiration, Orc gathers his allies and re-emphasizes the strategy of lighting shit on fire as a distraction and unceremoniously beating, stabbing, and fleeing people. I'm glad we've covered the extent of the plan.
Andre is incredibly inspired to stab people.
Beautiful.
So, just to be clear, Orc is actually fairly smart, like above average anyway, and so I have a non-RP for a sec. He has a personality tick of anything that can be perceived as like a feat or like something that's awesome. He'll have moments of like intensity, like yes, let's do it. And so this is like, gather the football team around sort of. The problem is like terrible charisma.
So you're giving the inspirational speech, but you
probably failing horribly, though the plan may be good.
So, 13 persuasion.
So you're really unconfident. Like, you're giving the inspiring speech, but you're, like, really unconfidently, and then,
you can probably do it. I really reckon you can probably do it.
Yeah.
So, Shalim, I've put you on the back side of the building to kind of indicate that we'll put you here. You're above the building now. You're on the roof. Roll me a stealth check as you go up, though. I do just want to see, how stealthy you've been, I guess, would be the point of such a check.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, it's almost like that's what a stealth check is designed to do.
Ooh. Okay, so you find...
So, Charlotte just obliviously, like, stomping on the roof, just like...
You find the hand and footholds on the slick surface quite easily because of your spider climb, despite the appearance that such a task might have otherwise been impossible. As you get towards the top, your hand reaches up and you grab the thatch to kind of pull yourself up on top of the roof. On the first grab, the thatch kind of comes back with you. You're able to quickly, with your spider climb, put another hand on the wall and keep yourself attached and based, but you do drop some thatch down to the ground. It doesn't make a lot of noise or anything like that, but isn't exactly discreet either. You take a look around. There's no obvious sign that anyone saw it, and you are now on the roof.
All right. Okay, I'm just going to start intensely firebolting like parts of the thatch, the driest parts of the
Yep,
thatch.
so I'll pause you there a second. Orc and Andre, where are you guys set up for? Because I assume obviously you've worked out an agreed signal. Are you guys backside, front side? What are you guys doing?
So I'll be near the front door, and I'm assuming Orc's going around the back.
All
Yeah, I
right.
can go around the back, sure. I love the back door.
Of course.
Uh,
That's what I assume. That's what I thought. Assume based on what you were talking about before. But what else?
So basically, let me adjust the map for the viewers.
So I just feel like Andre's very directed, so Orc would be the more sneaky one going around the back, while Andre just like stands at the front door, just like literally waiting for people to just walk out the front door and just
Why do you look like
stabs
that?
them in the
screen?
face.
It's not how you look.
Yeah.
on the screen.
Oh, I don't know if you guys do the same thing. Like when I'm thinking about stuff or I want to interject something, I'll throw it with a roll in chat. Like I find, and then sometimes Eth will pick up on it. Sometimes
I usually will. If I don't, it's because usually I say
like
that-
I'm paying it. I'm paying
the
it.
same thing.
yeah.
The
I
only
noticed
thing is,
it,
we
yeah.
did have some feedback from people. It was a bit hard to read, so I have made the chat window a bit bigger. So, chat, let me know. Are you able to read like the emotes, like Orc with his hiding around the back door while intensely excited? Beautiful. Okay, so Shalim, you are starting your firebolts. Obviously, up to you guys. At what point? At what point does that turn into a raid? So you find the drier thatch does come pretty quickly, and being that it's a cantrip, you are able to cast it again every few seconds. You've got a decent level of flames starting to kick up.
Sorry, DM. At the same time, whilst casting it, I want to every now and then, like every 6 seconds or so, I just want to put my ear to the thatch and see if I can hear voices or any reaction, if someone's like shouting below me or anything like that.
So no, as yet, definitely nothing as loud as shouting or anything like that. However,
I'll make an investigation check just in case.
and what is it you're specifically trying to investigate? What's occurring below you?
I'm listening for reactions, basically.
Okay, at this stage, you thought you might have heard maybe a chair move at the very edge of hearing. There's certainly not the sounds you would associate with a dramatic kind of reaction to anything. So you don't think it as yet anyone is aware that the roof is on fire, but you do get the feeling it's not going to be very long at all before they are. And I will also say that at this point, because of the some noise out the back with the thatch, and not that it was the loudest thing in the world, but still with a fairly low stealth check, Orc, you hear, you've got basically a split second to kind of react. You hear the knob of the door you're standing in front of move to open. What are you going to do?
Which way?
As in, it's going to open outwards.
Okay. And this is is the roof is actively on fire now?
Yeah, so the roof it's starting to catch, and the obviously the drier thatch is starting to go up. It's not ablaze at this point. So at this point, you don't think, from what you could see, they would even necessarily know it's on fire inside yet. It's going to be precious few seconds before they do know that. But someone's, I think, more investigating the sound of what Shalim's failed stealth check up the side of the wall, essentially. So it's just having a peek around the back door. So the door's about to open. How do you react?
Hold the knob.
Okay.
Is it a knob or is it a?
Yeah, no, it's a knob. You can do that. So you hold the knob. There's a moment, and you hear from the other side, "Oh, that's odd," and tries to turn the knob again. Again, has no luck. At this point, you can feel him turning the knob and like actively pulling on the door. Can I get a strength check if you want to keep a hold of that
Sure.
door?
And simultaneously, I will.
Oh my god.
I will.
That's a
I will
strength
go.
save. Roll a strength check.
Simultaneously, I will go. It's locked. And I roll
Okay,
persuasion.
never mind. It's 4. You actually he's pushing, and you're doing a push. You're pushing each other's shit. I could have phrased that better. Anyway, so basically,
Especially at the back door.
well, actually, he hasn't rolled his check yet. So I mean, even though you've maybe he crit fails as well, and it's an even lower total. Let's see what happens.
Here today in D&D, we're pushing shit out the back door.
Okay, so. Oh god, I've got to turn off that shit. That annoys the fuck out of me. 1 sec while I fix that.
Just take the first number, dude.
Yeah, I will. Either way,
It just
it's a raging success. So you feel the
One
door.
roll.
You feel the door come flying open. What are you doing, Orc?
Well, I can sort of athletically try to go back into hiding.
Yeah, so like behind the door as it opens, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
yeah.
that.
Athletically go back into hiding as opposed to acrobatically.
Well, no, because I don't know the effect of a failed. You have to explain to me the effect of the failed strength roll. Like that's
So basically, you were
that's
trying
actually
to...
literally minimum and maximum. So like I'm smashed away or something.
Yeah,
it?
no. So basically, you were just fighting over a door. So basically, he's trying to push it open. You're trying to resist. You feel your strength giving in as the door flies back, and then you've kind of like gone around with the door to try and hide on the other side of it. Correct?
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to try to do. So you tell me what you want me to roll.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So roll for me.
They've already shoved it open.
Well, yeah, they've already shoved it open. So you're essentially hiding on the other side of the door. I'm going to have him... Let's have him do...
It's 4-22. They've shoved you open.
Yeah.
Let's do...
That's why I was confused. That's all. Because that's a pretty big disparity.
Yeah, so
Literally
he
the biggest
has...
disparity.
why can't I just...
Literally a crit versus a crit fail. So
Hang on.
So they're basically just like completely...
So the door damn near like squishes you on the other side of it, but you are alive. He's gonna roll. He's gonna do a perception check. You are very lucky. It's a bit weird. Looks around. Actually steps right the way out, and you're just behind the door like this. Please don't notice me. And with his ridiculously low perception check, he is unfortunately satisfied with the fact that he does not see anyone outside the door. He's still kind of standing inside, and basically closes the door and goes back in. Now you guys have literally seconds before they're going to be aware that their roof is on fire. What are we doing?
we don't need no water, so let's let the mother effers burn.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it probably actually helps that he had such a pathetic strength check that the guy burst through the door and just like didn't even notice that there was any resistance, and so had no idea, and so that's why he didn't see you.
And I imagine like the door like flying open, and you're literally getting like squished against
and that's
the
why he
wall.
failed his perception check to see you because he didn't feel any resistance.
I like it. It's canon
And
now.
as he walks back
Canon now.
inside, as he goes back inside, Orc kind of doesn't know. He goes, assassin.
All right, guys. You guys have got a couple of seconds before they notice the fire. You want to obviously wait to hear reaction to the fire, and that's your key to go. Is that what you want to do? How do we want to do it? And
Well,
then what are you doing?
I know what
Sharon?
I'm doing.
Yep. What are you doing? Talk
If
to
the
me.
fire is catching, I don't want to stay on a burning roof.
I would suggest that is logical.
I'm flammable, but I am. I'm looking for Is there like any point where I could break through the thatch, kind of into like the ceiling?
Yeah, look, I would say that it's on fire, and you can definitely see areas where it's starting to give way, and you can see into the what would I guess be not an attic. What do you just call it when it's the anyway that you're in a roof segment, so you're essentially You know what I mean. You're in the roof. Yes, you could
Okay.
theoretically jump through the thatch if you wanted to.
All right. Well, Shalim starts to like tremble and shake, and he increases in size, growing from medium to a large ogre-like form.
Can
And
I tell? Can I
and
see
he
this happen?
bursts. Might be able to see the top of his head. I don't know.
Oh, just because you're on the. Okay, sorry.
He bursts like through the weakest point of the thatch, maybe at the edge where it's burning a bit, but it's hopefully not going to burn him. And yeah, like he just smashes through while still maintaining his concentration on spider climb.
Yep.
So that means he can walk upside down.
Yep.
And still have his hands free. So he basically like swings around like David Bowie in the freaking labyrinth at the end. You know, like when David Bowie's like freaking walking around that MC Escher type deal. It's like the boss fight of Labyrinth. He does one of those.
Yeah. So what? So bear in mind you're still kind of in the roof. So you can the ceiling of the room is below you.
Right.
And
Sorry.
so you're dealing with like a like I guess a plastered ceiling and then a thatched roof. It's kind of like the insulation layer that you would have in a modern house type thing. So it's plaster. You'd be fairly confident you could blast through it without much trouble. And
that's by the way, that's my action. Turning into a Titan is my action.
Well,
So-
we are free actions at the moment, but what I will say, you use the words yourself, you go crashing through the thatch. So at this point, you guys definitely start to hear activity below you or in front of the doors. There's clearly, at this point, some burgeoning awareness that something is not fucking right. There's been a bang in the ceiling, and they're starting to kind of hear the fire as well. So I will say...
Wait, has Shalim had a great sword this whole time? I've never noticed Shalim wielding a fucking great sword.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So you're smashing through
How
the
did I
ceiling.
not know that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Shalim's got a great sword.
Okay, so
Cool.
Shalim...
Oh, so just randomly, this little Weasley fucking snake guy, he just happens to carrying a giant sword on his back, and we never noticed.
Yeah.
So Shalim... So
I like
Shalim...
that. That's actually. Let me jump in. That actually is a funny image because, like a spear to Andre must be like this kind of glorified toothpick. But then you've got this giant sword.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Monster Hunter with the giant. You know what I mean? Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
Yeah.
So basically, you, Shalim, land on the floor, and we'll roll initiative in 1 second. You land on the floor, and this is what you can see. There are 3 figures up on the table to the side there, one of which is fairly clearly an elven woman with a harp, cliched enough, and beside her look to be 2 guys essentially in traveling clothes, fairly nondescript, however they do look to be armed and armored, and there is also a man who appears to be tending bar behind the bar. Alright, I will say at this point we're all going to roll initiative, but don't anyone roll it yet. Let me give everyone a turn first, and hopefully this actually works for once. Get on the right.
I've selected my token. Everyone select your
still
token.
hiding out. But I'm still hiding at the front because I'm just like ignorantly I'm ignorantly just assuming people will run out the front door, and so currently I've had no signal that anyone's going to run out the back door or anything. So I'm just waiting out the front door, just like waiting.
Oh dear, hang on.
Anyway, I'm over explaining.
That's all good.
Yeah.
So you're essentially to the side.
I'm just at the front door, just waiting for someone to tell me what to do because no one's running out the front door. So yeah. That initiative roll is perfect. That initiative roll is perfect because I have no
better than mine.
So it's as usual. It hasn't populated.
You sneaky snake bastard, and you got a right initiative roll in there.
Andre's 5.
I guess my Titan form kind of disorientated me.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. You used to being lithe and like flexible, and now you're like grown, and so you're not used to being so buff, and so it slowed you down. There we go. We've got a character explanation.
You have a 0 to initiative. Oh, 0. Of course, yeah.
15.
Eth, I put a little bit of distractive commentary in the chat. I wasn't sure if you picked up on it.
I did, and I laughed.
Okay.
Yes, he's getting more discreet. Knocks on the light. Hello, help. Okay. Sorry, Harper.
Because obviously I can hear him falling through the floor or whatever. So.
18.
Andre's not an agile guy. Andre's a big fucking oaf. Andre's not that agile guy. Maybe next level.
Play stuff, man. Come on.
Maybe next level I'll get a bit more. A little bit more agile. But right now Andre's still fucking off.
All right.
Yeah, this is supposed to be fantasy, man. You're supposed to play something different.
Okay,
a quick initiative. I like that.
Hey, wait a minute.
Okay, so
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that because obviously I think I would be able. I can roll insight if you want, but not insight, perception. I think I did, didn't I?
What are we talking about?
Oh, just with hearing what's going on, like I.
Look,
is like he's sorry.
Look, at this point, there's a dude leaping through the roof. The roof is on fire. If you didn't notice that the signal had been given, then there's probably something wrong. So we'll assume, without a check, you're fairly aware that you've just rolled initiative. If that makes sense, which it doesn't.
No, but I meant, does the distraction have any usefulness?
I was expecting them, to be honest. I don't know why they're not running out the door.
Well, that's what they're going to use their first turn doing. So they're not.
That's what we're going to find out, Damon. Calm down.
So basically, I was just saying, they have no idea they're in a fight yet. So their first turn is going to basically be entirely composed of trying to get the fuck out of there. So, Lon, I think you're slightly aside from the door. So one is going to hang on. What's their movement's 30? So yep, easy. One comes running out. Another is coming up behind. Thirsty. Actually, it's not her turn yet. And the third is going to try for the front door. So hang on. Actually, that might be too far.
Wait, who's the fourth? Who's that blue chick?
That's the Steely. That's the bard, the minstrel previously discussed.
That's the target.
Oh, I just wondered because it wasn't red. That's all.
Okay, so he's heading towards exit as well.
I know, Orc. I know you have a short attention span, but that's who have been hired to kill. Like that's
who's this?
That's what we're here for.
Who's this?
Who's this? Where are you? I can't hear you from here. So basically, two.
If it wasn't on the other side of a building, I'd slap you across the face, right?
So at this point, two Harpers come running out, and they don't even notice Orc. He's still kind of behind the door. They're much too busy looking up at the ceiling and wondering what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, because he was so weak-wristed that he couldn't even fucking stop them from opening the door. That, like, obviously they wouldn't expect anyone to be out there.
So there's exactly. What? Why are you what?
Initiative 15.
Isn't that what you rolled?
22.
Oh, you rolled 22. Never mind, Orc. It's your turn first. So those guys, that's what they're going to do on their turn. But you have your turn first, mate. What would you like to do?
I'll just delay turn.
Good idea. Very good idea. So one
remaining in health. Okay, hold on.
Oh,
Who's the first one to come out?
You are so infuriating. Anyway.
Infuriating in a good way,
hold on. Whoa, hold on. Whose plan is this?
Sorry.
Wait,
hang on. Who's infuriating? Can I clarify? Me or him?
Yeah.
No, Orc. No,
but I'm waiting, right?
Come on.
You have to understand.
By completely failing to failing to hold the door completely, and then hiding behind the door. And now all of a sudden he has great reflexes.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
that's
no.
the rolls, the dice rolls, bruh. It happens. All right, so Orc, you see running out in front of you a Harper, and you have
So who's the first one that comes out?
the one immediately in front of you, but he's immediately, they have the same turn. So basically, two of them come out. They're both there.
Oh, they have the same.
Yeah. So all
Okay.
Harpers are operating on the same turn. The Steely has her own turn.
And I guess I'm still stealth. Okay, so I will say assassin, and then immediately strike like with everything.
Yep.
And so I will do one of my. So it's going to cost me 2 key, which is very expensive in hindsight. But hold on. So I'm going to do my sickening salvo. So I'll start. So what happens? So how this works, guys, is with Way of the Open Hand. It's a bit of it's a constant sort of grace and balance, right? All of the skills are about sort of carefully managing. Closed fist is philosophically the opposite. It is high risk, high reward, all in. But if you don't land it, it's really bad. So what I've done is I tweaked my flurry of blows, which is like a multi-attack thing. And I can choose. So rather than focusing on the more graceful aspects of the monk, they focused on the offense components. One of those things is flurry of blows, which is a classic monk ability, as you know. I now have a couple of additional options that can apply different effects. So I can choose one of 3 options, but if they don't hit successfully, it ends horribly, basically, or it's a waste rather, and it's very costly. Okay. Anyway, so I will do a sickening salvo. So I'll do a depending on how many successful hits, I'll do a spear punch kick, something like that, or kick knee. Just gotta grab my character sheet.
Okay, I think 2 of those hit. Let me check. So, yes, 2 of those do indeed hit. So the first with the spear, unfortunately, does not. Your second with your fist and your kick do, however, land true.
Yeah, the spear was just a distraction. That was it.
Just lulling it into a false sense of
and then
security.
boom, boom, and then distract, boom, boom.
So,
Okay,
Yeah.
so because
That's
the
martial
second
arts,
hit.
right?
So the first hit has no effect. It's unfortunate I didn't get 3. The second hit it'll apply poison on a failed con saving throw of the guard,
yep.
of the guy, whatever it is.
What is it saving against?
Their con. Oh,
No.
sorry. The DC check.
Your spell save DC, or whatever it is for a monk.
Yeah, it's the difficulty check. Sorry, give me a sec. I'll find it.
No worries.
Uh, 8 plus my proficiency plus my wisdom. So,
10 plus
14.
something. Yeah.
Okay, so
14.
he does fail the save. So as he feels your blow strike him, you focus your well-trained monk energy towards poisoning him.
Okay, and so the other thing with these abilities too is they have a high cost, and if I don't succeed, so if I fully succeed a combo, I get a key back.
That's sick.
Yeah, but it costs 2 rather than 1, right?
Yeah.
So if I fail it like I just did, I didn't get the full combo. That's 2 key gone, which is that hurts actually.
The good.
I've only got 3, so
Yeah, that sucks early game for sure.
The good part
It'll mean Jack. If we get up to high levels, it won't be a big deal. But yeah, it sucks right now for sure. Damn.
Yeah. Well, I still have the option to do regular flurry. This is like an additional.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you can successfully chain things, it works out better. But obviously, when this happens, it's not as good.
So your your last landing blow is a big roundhouse right up into the Harper's cheek, and all of this is barely even registered you're there, and all of a sudden you're raining down blows upon him. But the last blow lands with a particularly satisfying crunch, and you feel you've probably broken his jaw with that kick. He's actually looking bloodied. You feel like he's halfway to the grave, so to speak. Anything else you wish to do with your turn?
No, there's nothing I can do at the moment.
Just yell fatality, just to like let him know what he's in for, like just intimidation.
Fatality.
All right, so the Harpers have taken.
That should be our group name. That should be our team
Fatality.
Thirsteely.
Yell fatality.
Thirsteely. Steely has a slightly calmer reaction than the younger Harpers. It appears that she was in conversation with. She's slightly calmer, and so she has a moment to kind of react to Charlim. Actually, I'm going to say you just burst through the roof. She is going to use her round kind of like the others, kind of seeing what's up with them. She was kind of halfway through that when you burst through the roof. Basically what I'm suggesting is you guys have a surprise round. I'll let you have one on her as well. I think bursting through the roof is a probably surprising experience for most people.
Like David Bowie, no less.
So she takes no particular action, but she does stride. She's kind of hot on the heels of the other guards, seeing what's happened. She kind of has a moment to register, seeing the Harper in front of a cop a vicious kick to the face, but basically she's used her whole turn getting to that point. She wasn't ready to fight, so she takes no specific action. Andre, it is your turn. You hear quite a ding in front of you. You suspect that something is definitely going down in the room in front of you.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so I'm just like I'm hiding out the front door, which is what I was instructed to do.
Yep.
And so I'm starting to hear some commotion inside.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. But currently there's nothing. Okay, so I'm just gonna sort of like I'll hear some commotion inside, and then getting frustrated that nothing's coming out the front door for me to stab. I'll like stand up and like try to look through a window or something to see what's going on.
You got to bear in mind this is a building specifically designed for use by a secret society. There are no windows. They don't want people looking in. You might at a stretch get a keyhole. Maybe you could try looking through the keyhole, but you'd probably be limited in what you could see.
Okay. Well, I can hear that there's obviously something going on inside, and there's no one coming out the front door. So I'm getting impatient. So I'm going to kick in the front door.
Okay. As you kick it, you just it doesn't immediately buck under your leg, but just by the behavior of the door, you can actually tell it's not locked. So you can open it and walk in.
No, it's too late.
You insist. Okay, sorry.
No, wait. Give me a sec. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Boom.
Okay, I was going to say I shouldn't deprive you of the opportunity to kick in the door. So
just
knowing, or at least feeling like it, you still want the satisfaction of kicking the door in. So you are going to kick the door with such.
It's not about satisfaction. It's just that's my first instinct. That's what Andre does.
Like it. Whatever Andre does, I'm happy with. So you actually kick it back with sufficient force that it flies back into the Harper that was walking towards the door. He's going to take not a huge amount. He's going to take 1d4 worth of damage from the door smacking him in the face. He takes 3 damage. I'm going to say the kicking in the door is your action. However, you still have your movement and any bonus actions or anything like that you might want to use.
Hey, yeah.
Well,
Can I just ask a really fast question about
Yeah, sure,
combat?
go for it.
Do you add statuses to the enemies as we were playing?
Yes, I do, if they have status effects. Actually, let me put poison on him.
The only reason I say that is because that actually does have an effect of disadvantage on attacks and ability checks, I think.
Cool. We'll put
Yeah,
a token
being
on
poisoned
him.
is bad.
Put a token, as opposed to all those people who think being poisoned's good. No, you're
Yeah,
wrong.
that's true.
All right, he's got an icon,
Well-
and we don't necessarily have specific icons for specific things, so some of it will rely on your memory. Yeah, sorry, as you were, Andre.
Sorry, Andre.
No, it's all good. Okay, so basically, I've kicked in the door, and it's some of the some of the shards or whatever is flew in the face of this pathetic guy in front of me.
Yep.
And so he's all been stunned, but I can hear all this commotion down the back. So I'm just like storming past, and so I'm just gonna storm up to like beside this guy, and if this guy wants to try to like because I'm not scared of I think he's a pathetic fool, and so like I'm not scared of him at all. So I'm gonna stand up next to him, and if he wants to fight me, that is his own fault. I'm gonna fucking destroy him. But
And fuck you, D-Bucks. The Harper was 10 feet behind the door. It's perfectly realistic.
But my end goal is to try to get to the back where all the action is.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but at the moment, I'm gonna stand next to this guy because he might try to start something, and then I'll fucking.
Does
put him
Charlim see
down.
this? Does
Yeah.
Charlim see Andre burst in?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I burst in.
There's no smoke in the room yet.
there's
It's
this-
pretty clear.
There's this guy who's there's this guy who's stunned by like me fucking smashing
Yeah,
through the
I can
front
see.
door.
Yeah, I'm
And
just
so
asking the DM.
So
Sorry.
no, it's all good. No, but I'm just saying, I'm standing next to him in case this guy wants to fight back. If this guy wants to be a pussy, I'll let him be a pussy. But if he wants to fight back, I'll kill him,
Cool.
and then
Alright. Wait, are you done?
and then I'll
You
head
got
to the
something to
back.
prove, man. Like
All right, it is
That's not really true, I'm
Charlim.
saying it. It's like
you like projecting
Like,
some real life anger on this guy.
Alright.
It's
no,
Charlim's turn. Moving on.
he's already dead. He's already dead. I'm just saying, like, but
Fuck
if
you,
he doesn't want to die, he can go off and carry in the corner.
Is your move
Otherwise,
over? Wait,
I'm gonna do yes. I'm done. My
Cool.
turn is done.
awesome.
Charlim.
Also,
That was
Okay.
intense, man. I feel like
all right. I'm gonna
What's
just have mine go
intense?
real quick.
I'm just gonna kill
I'm
people.
gonna go in 30 seconds. I'm gonna cast Quicken Spell. Okay, Charlim spell. I'm gonna move 30 feet. This is about 30 feet. And I'm going to. So, Quicken Spell allows me to cast spell as a bonus action. I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself. Charlim mutters and hisses. He bites down upon a worn leather bracer and is enveloped in a mystical carapace made from fragments of broken arcane weave. And then I'm going to use my bonus action. Oh no, my action. So I did that as a bonus action. I'm going to use my action to. I'm just going to cast. Freaking. Where is it? Is it Frost? Oh fuck it! I'll just do Firebolt. I'll just do classic Firebolt. Oh, nice! 18 to hit. Does an 18 hit the Bard? Of course, I'm going for the Bard. Sorry,
yes,
I should have said
18. Actually, hang on. Let me double check that. I'm 99% sure it was Bard. But are you Bard? Thirstily. The Bard has a name, Damon. It's Thirstily. Jeez. Yes, that does indeed hit.
what was the name?
Thirstily.
Thirstily.
The name of the person that would be
Olmec.
sent to kill. We were
He's a
given a
harper.
specific name of someone to kill.
So you did
Okay,
9.
I'm done.
It was 9 damage, correct?
Yep.
And I'm meant to be
She
the
actually So basically, you see the firebolt hit her, and it actually really seems to have rocked her shit. It appears that she may not be particularly high on constitution or hit points, so to speak, because that looks like it's done a pretty serious damage.
Wow.
Was there anything else you want to do, Charlene?
That's it.
All right, it is your turn. Or
I'm on the ceiling though.
up, spider climbing on. Yep, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm David Bowie, upside down.
If thirstily is hot and nor needs a drink of water, hilarious. Your turn, Orc.
Okay. For sure. Well, I'm still on that side of him, so I mean, I'll continue with my badassery offensive. This time I will just do a spear strike, and as a bonus action, my additional unarmed.
Okay. What do you know?
Spear ain't doing it today.
Hang on, no, actually, I think the Harpers really probably need to actually invest in better armor, because the spear does land, as does your unarmed strike. It just lands. It could not have any more just landed if it tried. So yes, they do both land. So you lunge forward first with the spear. Again, he's only just really waking up to what's even going on, and so as he kind of hastily tries to draw his weapon, your spear pushes him back in his stomach, and he's able to quickly pull the blade out, but with it comes some intestines creeping out of his armor. It's all very unpleasant. Second, your unarmed strike, you come down over the spear with your elbow. Bang, bang, that is 16 damage, and that is hard to scroll. That is exactly, in fact, enough that as your elbow lands in the side of his face, you feel like it's kind of gross, although you're
He's fucking dead.
I love it.
Kind of gross.
Battle rage, so you love it. Basically, you feel his fucking skull give way as your elbow meets the side of his head, and essentially there's a really loud cracking sound, and for a moment he tries to reach up to his face and screams. Actually, no, he doesn't. That's far too loud. There's a fire. Yeah, fuck it. I think screaming in agony when your face just got disintegrated makes sense. However, the scream cuts off very, very quickly as he immediately crumples to the ground, absolutely bashed senseless and completely dead. There you go. Was there anything else you would like to do this turn, Orc?
Assassin.
Okay, with that, we will move on to the Harpers. So first Harper sees his mate go down. He's not amazingly happy with this, but these men are sworn to a cause, and he is not going to watch his partner fall and not try to avenge him. So he steps over his body, and he's going to reach forward and going to make two... Hang on, I thought you had 2 attacks. Yep, no. Hang on. Thirstily, you're distracting me with your character sheet. Yes, you do have 2 attacks. Okay, he's going to take 2 swings at you with his mace. First one. He is a 20 to hit. I'm imagining that hits. Orc?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yes, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
16.
So he does...
Sorry, I thought you were talking to Shalene for some.
No, that's all good. So just you basically drop his friend with an elbow, and immediately his friends are right up in your face, swing his mace.
Hold on. Let me just jump in. As a reaction, once I can do my intercept melee.
Yep.
So I have to roll D10 plus my dex.
Yep.
To absorb. Where do you roll dice in this?
There's a dice roller top left, just above the question mark. There's a dice roller, and you can click advanced dice roller at the bottom, and then you can have like 2 D10s plus 2 or whatever.
I'll be back.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. 1d10 plus. Sorry. Give me a sec. D10 dex 1.
That was a huge damage firebolt, Jesus.
Yeah, Firebolt is kind of overpowered as a cantrip, really, isn't it?
So what
Okay, so you have to roll. So obviously it successfully strikes me, but so I rolled an 8.
Mm-hmm.
So if the damage of his strike is 8 or less, I can actually, as a reaction, push that back into him. Like I can.
Oh, so it damages him.
I can do whatever I want within melee range of him.
Yeah. So, but basically, his damage he ends up taking. Is that correct?
So I roll his attack. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let me read the exact. This is basically deflect missiles, but it's the melee version.
Yeah. So you don't have. Yeah, I get you. It's instead of. Yeah.
So instead of grabbing it and throwing it, I'm based. You know what I mean? Like I'm.
So,
yeah.
But basically, you turn his own damage against him, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's basically a separate attack because I could actually redirect that weapon into somebody else. No.
Take no. Okay.
No, I actually reduce it to nothing. If I reduce it to nothing, I can redirect it.
Okay.
It's the same with intercept.
If you reduce it to nothing. Okay, so you
But
can.
in this case, he takes the damage.
Yeah, so you can redirect.
So is it more than 8?
He did 7 damage, so you reduce.
So
it
no,
to
then I can redirect it. Yeah.
Yep. So he takes 1d6 plus 2. If you would like to roll that.
Yeah, well, obviously, there's nobody else that I would do it so in range, so that. Oh no, sorry. No, I will redirect it to the bard chick, as long as. Hold on, let me.
She's not in range
of him.
Well, she's in range of him. Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. So it's the same as it's the same as deflect missiles to a certain degree. So as where deflect missiles is as long as you have a hand free and you can can see the target and you can use that as it becomes a monk weapon for that turn.
Okay.
It's the same is true, but for melee in this case.
Okay, so if it's within range of him, yeah.
So let me just read it to you real quick. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can choose to redirect the weapon used if it is small enough for you to hold in one hand if you have at least one hand free. If you redirect the weapon in this way... Oh, so I'm sorry.
But
I have to spend a key point to do this.
Yep.
But also, hang on. If you attacked with a spear two-handed, then do you have a hand free?
Oh,
actually... No, I guess you're right.
Yep.
Because if I attacked with the it's a versatile weapon, but if I'm using it as a two-hander, you're right. Actually,
I can see elbowing while you're holding a spear. I'm fine with that though. Unfortunately,
well, the damage is reduced basically.
Yeah. So. Okay, so he.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about having a chat window that you can scroll up and see. I just noticed that.
It's also something you're playtesting, so that's.
So basically, hang on? Can you still reduce the damage?
Yes.
If you have a spare hand.
This is an inherent monk thing. It's really strong.
All right, cool. Sorry, I've only played with one monk, and obviously this is homebrew, so forgive us, chat, while we get our heads around it. First time it's been observed in the wild, so to speak. So basically, he steps over his fallen comrade and takes a swing at you with his mace, and you're able to basically, using your skilled martial arts prowess, basically just guide the mace in a circle so it completely passes without hitting you, which looks quite impressive.
Fucking dope.
So he does no damage. However, he's now going to make his second attack with that mace.
I can only do that once as a reaction. That costs my reaction though.
Yeah, and so he makes a second. So you turn aside the first blow, and he comes down up and underneath with the second, and you feel a crunch as the mace busts into your ribs for 7 damage.
Okay.
He's
got 2 weapons?
He makes 2 attacks.
Oh, okay.
Same weapon, hit you with it twice. 1 missed, 1 hit. That is his turn. He's going to stand his ground. He doesn't want to move. For a start, because he doesn't want to expose the Steely to any further harm, and also he's pretty angry he killed his mate. Anything else in your turn? Oh no, hang on, that wasn't your turn. Alright, so this means, it's now Andre's turn to taste some combat, as the harper beside him, somewhat bruised in the face from its collision with a door.
What about the bard?
I was
It's
about
not-
to say,
It's her turn next. It's her turn after the last Harper. So the Harpers all move on the same turn. Bard is the very next turn. So Harper takes a swing with his mace at Andre. That is a 21 to hit again for 7 damage.
sure, whatever.
So first hit with the mace makes it around your pike and comes clashing against your lower arm. Hurts a little bit, but you're okay. He's going to make a second swing. Second swing.
Wait.
Yep.
Second swing. Wait.
Yep.
What? Okay. Sure. Whatever.
He attacks twice per round. He's had
of
some
course he
combat
does.
training.
Of course he does.
He's had some combat. Yeah, but look what happened to the other one. He died in like 2 rounds. So, it all balances out in the end. Chill. Anyway,
That's okay.
so second one, 13. Does that hit?
No.
Nope. So takes one, basically wraps you with the mace around your lower arm. Second hit, you're able to easily turn aside and parry with your pike, doing no damage. Okay, it is now the Bard's turn. Thirstily steps up to the plate. Now she's got at least some idea what's going on in the room. She is going to cast Sleep on Shalim.
No.
She is going to cast that. Excuse me. She'll cast that at level 1. Shalim, do you have more than 17 hit points?
Yes, I do.
So basically, you see Thirstily concentrate a moment as she strums away at her harp, and it appears for a moment that her normal consciousness is no longer present as her eyes begin to glow. She strums a strange and discordant melody, and as she does so, Shalim, you can feel your eyes starting to get heavier and heavier, and you feel sleep pulling you away. But then in the last minute surge of will, you push against it, and you're able to stay wide awake. She looks at you, disappointment clear in her face as her spell fails. That is her turn as far as her spell casting. She is going to use her movement to.
Yeah. So you slam down a can of Monster Energy drink and give her a finger and just like, fuck you, trying to make me sleep, bitch.
Okay.
I love your role playing by proxy. That's cute.
I mean. Oh no. Sorry. That's completely out of character.
That's not a
Andre.
good name for a group. You're trying to make me sleep.
So she has run and kind of taken hiding in the back corner of the room. I mean, not really hiding. You know where she is, but she's kind of arching backwards until she's in the back corner, nowhere further to retreat to. That is going to be her turn. Andre, it is your turn.
So I'm standing. So there's one character standing next to me.
There is, and he's slightly door damaged, but mostly looks fine.
Yeah, that's cool. So the wait, who's that just in front of me behind the table? Who's that?
Shalim,
Oh, is that Charlie?
the one that looks like an orc. Yeah.
But is he up on the roof? But
No, he's spider climbed on the ceiling. He's not the roof anymore, but you can see him. He's on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Think The Exorcist.
And so the main other threats is that the guy that's next to Orc, and then who's that? Who's the one in the corner?
That's Thirstily. So I mean, they're all targets. He wants everyone there dead, but Thirstily was the named target, as she appears to be one of the public faces and one of the more powerful of the Harpers in Daggerford. Though evidently she doesn't have a ton of hit points for that power. But anyway.
Yeah, no, fuck. No, these guys are. I don't consider these people a threat yet. So I'm not. yeah, so I'm not going to bother going into rage. I'm just going to simply like turn on the one standing next to me and just try to stab them and then like throw them away in order to advance to the next target.
All right,
And
have
so
a crack.
that's my intention. Yeah.
Yep. Have a crack at him. Okay,
Oh.
so again, these harpers, unfortunately, whoever equipped the harpers really needs to look at the quality of the armor that they have, because that does quite successfully hit you. You pierce his shocked defenses. He does try to get a mace up in time, but to no avail. He is looking bloodied at this point, the combination of your pike and a door having taken their toll. Was there anything further you wanted to do on that turn?
I'll just advance like slightly further up. Like,
yep, still in his range, so no attack.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, I don't consider him a threat. So I just sort of
you disrespected him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Like you're off.
So I'm going to start to move past him because I think that little of like how much of a threat he is.
Sure.
It's the fifth level of acceptance, right?
So Charlene, you're up, my friend.
All right, Charlene is once again. He's gonna cast a quicken spell, and he is going to cast Daybreak as a bonus action. A tiny radiant sun, very tiny, appears above Charlim's head, and his head is actually like floating kind of in the air because he's standing on the ceiling, and fires a beam of energy towards Thirstily. Oh, if she's hang on.
Well, that does miss, but does she still take the blind is my question.
It misses. Why is that?
7 to hit.
Oh, right, I didn't see that.
So yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's under her AC.
I was actually worried about range, because I forgot to say that I'm... No, I'm in range. Okay, so that misses. So yeah, she has to make a con save.
Okay.
Or be blinded.
She makes a con save of 9.
She fails. My DC was 12.
Yep.
So she's blind, and on top of that, I'm gonna just cast a cantrip with my remaining spell, and I'm going to try. I'm gonna mix it up a bit. I'm gonna do frost. Oh.
Unfortunately, you miss with that as well. Now, at the start of the next turn, so it's been about 12 seconds of combat so far, but it's been probably a good 30 seconds, a minute or so since the fire had started to catch. So you are starting to see smoke entering the building, entering the room. It's not yet at this stage where you think that the roof is going to imminently collapse, or that you're going to choke on that smoke, but it's something to probably have an awareness of as you proceed through the combat. It is going to be top of the turn again, and Orc, that is you.
No worries.
Can I just move as well?
If you want to move, yep, you certainly can.
Okay, so I'm just going to close in on the bard. On Thirstily.
Beautiful. All right, Orc, you're up.
No worries. I'll keep it sweet and simple. I will do a flurry of blows, which is it'll be 1 spear and 2 unarmed, a 2-handed spear and 2 unarmed.
Yep. Okay, so the first hits. The second 2 do not, and the third, you actually end up like elbowing the door instead of the harper. But I'm not a huge believer in crit fails. You've been a monk your whole life, so you don't take damage, but you look slightly foolish. However, the spear does...
Thematically, you kind of have to, though. I mean, it's got to be high risk, high reward, right?
Well, the way I say the way
Crit fails, man. Crit
No,
fails.
do it, Josh.
I don't believe in crit.
No,
The way I
don't
say
be a wuss.
you're a fucking trained warrior. You're not going to hit yourself with your own fucking sword. I will
Yes,
say.
you totally can do that.
No,
That's totally possible.
No, look,
Well, I
fucking.
thought, sorry.
That's
he might not
house
hit
rules.
him with his trained sword, but it'll bounce back. It'll bounce back in his
That's
face.
it. You're all banned.
Yeah,
No.
I'm going to
It just
play on
feels
my own. I'm going to
asymmetrical.
play all of your characters for you.
If you can have a crit
I thought-
success, it feels
correct me if I'm-
unbalanced if you can't
Okay,
have a crit
that is
fail.
a fair point, I suppose.
I thought
I
the purpose of crit fails was like not that because I agree with what you said. Like you're a trained warrior, this shit wouldn't happen. Except combat's like messy, right? Accidents
True.
happen.
Okay, look, fuck it. I'll do your damage then. Okay, so your
I
first.
never thought I'd have to fight to take damage.
You lead with your spear, and it does. He tries to parry it with a mace, but he can't get it up in time, and it catches him basically in the side of the chest. He coughs a second as he feels it stabbed through. He again is able to, and his strength. Well, actually, no. This dude's still quite vital. He's able to pull aside your sword. As you go for a second strike, he quickly ducks under it, and as you go for a third, he actually grabs your hand as it comes round and continues its rotation, so that you elbow the wall of the building quite hard, doing yourself 2 damage. There, are you happy now?
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what the ruling is on crit fail, but it should in this, like, if you're gonna give us crits, you got to give us crit fails.
That I
think.
suppose
You're
does
the DM.
actually. No, look, I get the crit argument. If you're going to give
And
crits,
they can
you've
be
got to
fun.
get. Yep.
They
Fair
don't
enough.
have to
The
be
other
bad,
thing
they
too
can-
is, man, especially my character specifically is all about it's really good or really bad.
Well,
So-
basically, you've just elbowed you elbowed the side of the building really hard, and it's smart. You're like, oh, I'm gonna feel that one later. Was there anything else you wish to do with your turn other than doing a 9 damage to him with your spear?
No, that's okay.
All right, he is going to swing straight back at you. You will be incredibly surprised to learn. So he'll take his first swing, gathers himself with his mace. He's looking pretty rumbled. This hasn't gone exactly how he envisioned his glorious combat days being. He takes his first swing, and you can see his hand shake as he's starting to swing it. He's starting to be very scared by the situation, and he's just not able to summon enough of a strike. And quite easily, you're able to just parry it easily with your arm. He goes for a second strike, trying to summon his courage once more. This time he does summon a deeper well of courage, and he actually catches you across your thigh with the mace, doing it. You feel a decent jolt of pain up through your leg.
I rolled a reaction to that.
Okay, do you have enough key points?
No, the key is only for if I push
Redirecting.
it into an
Okay.
attack. Yeah,
So how many
The
times
damage-
can you do the intercept
One.
melee?
it costs my reaction once per turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if I'm getting pummeled by 3 guys, only one of those, after a successful hit of theirs, I can do it only one time.
Okay, got you. So basically, yeah, I understand. So basically, he swings with his mace, and this time you see his hand stops to shake as he does, and he's kind of summoned his courage a bit more, and you can feel like he's got his whole weight behind it, and it's just for all the world, it's going to hit you in the face. And then again, you use your flashy monk abilities to just basically grab the mace and take its force with you as it hits, and you are able to guide his mace into the wall behind you. So it's kind of turnabout. You don't do damage to him by virtue of it, but you do not take damage either.
Flick that dust off.
He's not going to move. He's going to still stand there, desperately trying to summon his courage. The other guy is going to take swings at Andre, as Andre contemptfully tries to walk past him. He takes his first swing. Oh, he has a crit. So he actually catches you really bad in your back as you kind of contemptfully go to walk past him. You take 10 bludgeoning damage. Oh, assuming that 24 hits, which I imagine it probably does.
Yeah, that definitely does. Yeah,
All right, he's going to take a second swing with his mace, and you see his confidence build as he has the satisfying smack of the mace landing against your flesh, and he takes a second swing. This one 14 to hit.
That's 3 rolls.
Oh, hang on.
3 times.
Oh no, hang on. Never mind. No, what was the first one? No, the first one was a different. Was you the 8 the first, the 21 the second that you reduced? Did he take 2 swings at you? He did, didn't he? Yeah, the 8 was the one he missed. The 21 was the one he hit that you redirected. Then the crit.
Oh, that's a different turn. Oh, sorry.
No. The crit and the 14 are the two at me.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry. Yep, sorry.
So does 14 hit? All good, it happens to the best of us.
14 hits me, yes.
Okay, so you take a further 3 bludgeoning damage. So he does manage to get another one quickly around your pike. So he's being a bit of a cheeky bugger. I don't know if he's gotten your notice or not. That's up to you. A rather blind.
Oh, he's got my notice.
Anyway. Well, no, I'm saying like he may or may not have. That is entirely up to you. But he's landed some damage on you. So whether you still hold him in contempt or not is entirely up to Andre. So Thirstily, and no, I mean that seriously, but I'm saying like if anything was going to, that might have, but that is entirely up to you. Thirstily is blind. However, she hears the stepping of Shalim in front of her, and she is going to try and cast sleep at level 2. And even though she's blind, there is no component as part of it, so it actually doesn't matter. So she's basically trying to
attack. Yeah,
she's playing and she's trying to feel out with her mind where she kind of remembers or the sound of Shalim coming towards her. She casts sleep at level 2. Shalim, do you have more than 23 hit points?
I got 3 more.
Woo! Woo! All right, so for the second time in very rapid succession, again you feel this arcane force dragging you towards sleep, like your whole frame and body is suddenly 3 times heavier. You manage to struggle against it, and this time it takes longer. This time you feel like you're pulled even deeper, but again you manage to assert your will and keep yourself awake. Thirstily, you can see her kind of listening, and at the lack of any like form falling to the floor, she sighs audibly. You think she can see the end coming. That is her turn. She's not going to make any effort to retreat. She's used her action. Doesn't have a bonus action spell, unfortunately for her. So, Andre, it is your turn again.
Okay. So this character that's like standing next to me that I tried to walk past and just
it was very rude.
Sure, whatever, because I didn't consider them a threat. And then all of a sudden they had the rude audacity to hit me in the back.
How rude.
So let's just say I'm not so happy with that.
Are you raging?
Not only am I raging, I'm officially going into a frenzy.
Yeah.
And so, no, that's it. This fucking piece of shit's going down. And so I'm just gonna like roar and spin around and just like stab this fucking piece of shit into the ground.
Okay, that definitely hits.
Yes.
Not great, but
that's all right.
So he's still standing, but he's looking pretty poorly as you smash a pike through his fairly sort of loose leather armor.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, and so as a bonus action, I'm stepping back towards them, and then just sort of like putting my foot down basically on their prone body, and just like fucking like stabbing down to like stabbing.
I love that you seem to have a habit this session of rolling exactly the right amount of damage needed to finish someone. So basically, in a vicious succession of moves, a now enraged Andre turns around, and and he smashes this guy, like just absolutely drills him with a pike. The guy like he comes on him in such a rush. He doesn't even try and use the mace to defend. He just drops it and he tries to catch the pike. And he succeeds in doing it, but it still pierces him, and he's holding the pike there as he's pushed down into the ground. And then the pike is removed and driven home again. There is a gargling wet sound as he leaves this world.
Basically, I'm walking past, and this fucking pathetic piece of shit. I'm trying to walk past them, and then they have the audacity to attack me. And so I just turn around, just with my giant hunting spear, and just go, really? And just fucking, just jam them.
I just want to say that your RPing is opposite to what your character is. Before you're no, this doesn't affect me at all, but I want his skull crushed, I want his family dead, I want his house burned to the ground. And then now you're this I'm not only am I raging, I'm in a frenzy.
Yeah, but the difference was the stabbing.
He says very calmly.
Being stabbed in the back will do that for you.
I'm just saying the juxtaposition is pretty funny.
No, this guy hit me in the back twice. And so if he just cowered back in the corner and didn't hit me, I would have completely ignored him.
What an insolently foolish of
you had the audacity of hitting me twice in a round.
Twice, I say.
So obviously I had to go into a fucking frenzy and deal with him.
Okay,
beautiful. So that would make it Charlene, your turn.
This little snake man became a big snake man. He walked upon the ceiling like a spider, and he approached the bard, who was a bit of a wild card, and he decided that he was going to spare her. Psych! He makes a slightly non-lethal attack.
You might need to define a slightly non-lethal attack.
Aiming, he's going shallow. He's going shallow with that old thing because he really wants to smash the loot out of her hands. He wants to, and he doesn't really care if he cuts her. But he's just going for a shallow swing.
Yep,
that's the name of our group right there. Slightly non-lethal.
Okay, so you take a swing at her with your sword. However, she appears to be wearing a decent, better quality of armor than her colleagues, and her armor does turn aside the blow without you rendering any damage on her, unfortunately. Was there anything else you wanted to do with your turn?
Give up and sing me a song of harpers spread far and wide.
All right, it's not
her
turn, so she can't respond, but we'll see if she makes it to her turn. Orc, it is your turn.
Yep. Now, this dude's still alive? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he's alive. The dude you're fighting with, yes, he is. He actually looks reason. He's not bloodied yet. Let's put it that way. He's copped a blow or two, but he's out of everyone looking the most hearty and hale compared to Thirsteely and the dead guys anyway.
Sure. I will. Ever engaged in combat, I'll just have to go for a spear and a kick.
Okay,
Oh, man.
So you stab forward with your spear, and again, he's too slow to get out of the way. You catch him on the thigh. You see the blood pooling down his leg as you remove your spear tip. You come down for the accompanying elbow that you like to. So I imagine you whoom and then whoom, so you can hold the spear but still do elbows.
That was an awesome damage roll.
So unfortunately,
Yeah,
yes, it was. It was you actually
D8
rocked him.
3.
You rocked him pretty
roll.
good with the spear. Unfortunately, he's very dazed and confused by everything that's going on. He is definitely now bloody. However, he has his sufficient wits about him that, again, as you go for the elbow, he again is able to jump back and just basically fling your elbow again into the side of the building, which elbows are much harder this time, so you'll take 1d4's damage. Let's see what you roll. You take 1 damage as your elbow comes bouncing at a little sharp, like a crack, as your elbow comes bouncing off the back end of the building again. He is looking dramatically afraid. However, he is determined to go down fighting. So the Harper the lone remaining, still standing Harper is going to take his first shot at Orc. And that's going to lag, but that's going to be 12 to hit.
Ooh.
Orky boy?
Yeah.
Does 12 hit you?
No, of course not. Like
Okay.
12 roll?
No. I was just saying he
Like
rolled
attack.
12 to hit. So he goes lazily swings the mace at you, and you're able to quickly duck out of the way. He makes a second swing with his mace, and also again gets nothing but air as you duck again. So got a bit of a sore elbow, but otherwise looking the goods.
Am I doing more damage to myself than he is?
I think you might be.
That's two critical fails.
Yeah, I don't think he's touched you. Thirstily is again. It's her turn. So she looks up at Shalim, having been offered the chance to surrender, and she says, glaring at you somehow with sightless eyes, "I would rather die." And she is at that point going to unleash, because I had to at some point. She is going to...
Vicious mockery?
Of course, because she's a bard. It wouldn't have... Actually, no. She's going to cast Cure Wounds at level 1 on herself. Okay, plus 7 hit points. So in front of you, you see some of her wounds slowly begin to close, some of the blood disappear, and she's looking a lot more hearty and hale once more, almost back to her original condition, almost. She is not going to make any effort to move. She is, again, it seems, quite committed to this course of action. She glares sightlessly and blindly out into the room, and that is her turn. That's going to be Andre, your turn.
Oh,
Okay.
I just realized, because she was blind, attacks against her should have had advantage.
Absolutely. But there wasn't an attack on her.
Yeah, I attacked her with my sword.
That is true.
Anyway, that's cool. The next attack will have advantage, I guess.
Yeah. Apologies, that's why we should have put a token on her. These things will happen in the scope of D&D, people, but we try and minimise them. Let's put that icon on her. All right.
I was more worried about her attacking me. I didn't really think about the advantage that I would get.
Same. Yeah, I was so much thinking she's not going to hit anyone now. I didn't really think she's going to get hit by everyone now, which is the thought that should have accompanied it. All right, Andre, your turn.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, so just purely like on a like a sound level, like what's making more noise? Is it orc fighting the people at the back?
Everything
or is it
happening right now is loud. You guys have got the sense that you don't have that long before either the ceiling and roof gives away, or someone comes to investigate what on earth is going on. So at the moment, it's really only been from when you kind of kick things off to now. It's really only been 30 seconds to a minute or so, being that combat rounds are only 6 seconds. But already it's causing a bit of a din, and that roof is really starting to go up. So they would definitely start to be very relevant concerns, I would say.
Okay. Well, I'm in a frenzy, and for whatever reason, I feel like the commotion that's going on at the back with Orc and whoever is fighting, that just, for whatever reason, attracts my attention the most.
Your murder boner, sure.
So I'm gonna rush to that door and just like literally try to barrel through it as much as I can. And so with that athletics check, that's just me trying to like barrel through the door. And then once I smash through that door, I'm just gonna like I'm just gonna lash at it at closest enemy.
Yep. So I will, because it was kind of part of your charge, I'll accept it as part of your movement, but because we did get a pretty decent athletics roll with that. So you basically charge the door and it just basically splinters and shatters in front of you and goes flying outwards. It does collect both basically flying bits of door collect both Orc, I should say, and the Harper. They both take 2 damage each. So maybe death by 1,000 cuts for Orc, but anyway. And yeah, okay, so you're now standing before the kind of surprised Harper.
Yeah, and
can I just jump in real quick?
Yep.
I just had a quick read about critical failures in 5e. They don't exist. So I guess the balancing of skills and whatnot, and the addition of advantage and disadvantage takes into account all of that, as well as there are some explicitly stated effects for fumble.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but at the same,
I'm happy with how
but at the same time, it's also up to the DM as well. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but earlier he was saying about rules, right? But apparently they've accounted that into the balance anyway. So
Okay, so
no, they're not in the rules, but they are known.
yeah, look, a lot of rules aren't in the rules, to be fair.
I just mean specifically for 5e. They do exist outside of 5e.
So your first hit, so you basically charge out, you take your first swing. For 10, it does fall just short of hitting the Harper.
Well, I'm frenzying, so as a bonus action, I'm going to stab again.
Okay. Whew. Okay, at this point, so he manages to, in all of his shock, to quickly get a mace up in time and send your pike wide. The second one, he's not so lucky, and it goes straight through his throat. He's skewered, like hanging on your pike, dead and lifeless. And grossly, in fact, as well. It's exceedingly gross, but he's very dead.
Yeah, I just like burst out the back door, like next to Orc, and just fucking and just like savagely like stabbed at this guy, missed, and then just like my second stab just completely impaled him into the wall, and just like
he's walking now.
And so I'll leave it up to Orc how to react to
Sharlem, it is your turn. You have the reasonably hearty, maybe not full health, but reasonably hearty looking Thirstily in front of you, blindly cowering in the corner.
Well, this is...
I'd like say defiantly in the corner.
Yeah. I do not want to kill her. I do not want to kill her. I've decided that I'm not going to blindly just do the Zentarum thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So now I just want to say that because of reasons, it's really hard for me to roll with advantage in the typical sense because of like I'm in Titan form. Mm-hmm. So can I just roll twice and if one of them hits, just take the damage.
Take the higher. I understand.
Take the damage on the higher. So I'm trying to smash the loot to smithereens in my Titan form because that's what I can do. I can do more damage to objects. I do double damage to objects. So I'm going to smash it out and I'm just going to say, you're weak right now.
Sure.
Let me help you back up onto your feet.
Yeah, intimidation.
Under certain conditions. All right. Oh, does a 15 hit?
Yes, it does.
Sweet. Okay. So that's 8 plus 4 damage, mainly directed at the loot, actually.
8 plus 4 damage. So 12.
8 plus 4 damage is 12 damage, and if it hits the loot, it's 24 damage on the loot.
Okay, so basically you take a swing at her with your sword. She kind of can hear something's up and attempts to hold her. It's actually it's a harp, but anyway, hold her harp. That's absolutely fine. Same Same difference. She holds her harp forward, and your sword comes crashing through it. You do a fair whack of damage on her as well. She is still alive, but she does look like, even with some effort to spare her there, she did cop a decent whack of damage. The loot is disintegrated, basically. You don't anticipate that she's probably going to be able to use it for the purposes of magic right now. And so what are you trying to persuade her to do? You said to
I'm persuading her to give up and start talking. If you like, sorry, I can roll intimidation if you prefer, actually.
Basically what I would say is that it is not possible to persuade her.
Yeah.
She is committed to this course. She's very happy to die at this point. In fact, this is
intimidate. Yeah. Then roll intimidate.
In fact, as a harper, she expected she would probably die gloriously in battle versus questionable or evil forces. So she makes no move to follow your request and stand.
But we're definitely questionable and or evil forces. So yeah.
That's my turn. I'm keeping an eye out on how much smoke I'm huffing.
Okay, so top of the new turn, I am going to ask that everyone please do a Constitution save, except for Orc. I'm going to say he's actually Andre. You're outside enough as well. You two don't worry about it. I will just the air outside is so good it feels great. Shalim. Shalim, you do start to choke a little bit in the smoke, which is getting thicker. I'm going to say you will take 1d6 worth of damage. 1d4. So that's 4 damage. Let's see if the Steely makes her con save. She makes her con save, and so basically she appears to kind of gather up her padded armor and use it as a shield to breathe through, and doesn't appear to be affected by the choking smoke. That is it. Orc, your turn.
Okay, so I kind of misunderstood what Shalim was trying to do, like intimidate, or
he was basically trying to get her to question her or something like that. So persuading, come on, give up, talk to me. But she's a zealot, so she's not going to be persuaded from that. So for people at home that aren't familiar with D&D, there are some things which, even if you get a really good roll, it doesn't necessarily mean you will automatically succeed. And this would be a case of that. She is very committed to dying for the Harpers and will not be convinced to surrender by a party attempting to, and having murdered her, her friends in cold blood. So yeah, you guys roll your con saves. She succeeds. Shalim fails. So you cough as one does. All right, Orc, your turn.
Is that the fire, the yellow?
Yeah, I'm just drawing.
Ignore it, but yeah, essentially, yep, that was the origin point on the roof.
So I can't go through.
No, you can. That's on the roof. That's like the higher. So you can, yes.
That's fire above you, yeah.
And she's the target, is she?
Yeah. And the only living Harper left in this room.
Well, I mean, if she's the target, I'll just strike her. Unless there's like some kind of like insight reason that.
No, look, you were told you were sent here to do a job, and it wasn't.
I just want to clarify, like what Shalim was like trying. It was like trying to interrogate, sort of.
We'll put it like this, Orc. Shalim looked at you, and just kind of like does a short sigh, and his body language seems to be that of like, forget it, just end her if you want,
End her. She doesn't appear to be malleable to your will.
Oh, okay. Well, in the just trying to think of what my character would do. Probably I would just stealth in the smoke, to be honest, because like a non-challenging target is not going to be that riveting, I guess. But she's been doing like attacks, hasn't she?
Well, she healed herself, and she tried to put. Although you wouldn't necessarily have registered that she tried to put Shalim to sleep twice, You
Yeah,
might have
so
seen
it's
him be a little
probably
bit groggy, but unlikely to have registered specifically.
No, I'm pretty sure I would just straight up attack her. So
Beautiful.
that's
Sounds good to me, mate. No argument here.
all right. Sorry, won't waste any more time. Just let me make my decisions, man. Come on.
Well, you are in combat. You don't have all day. Okay, so how do you want to do this?
This game.
You still
Are
the
you
first.
looking at these rolls? Like,
Well, the second
You
doesn't.
have really bad rolls sometimes.
So the
Oh, you
second
mean-
the second hit never happens
Sharkus.
because how do you want to do this? The second
What?
hit never happens because how do you want to do this?
I don't know what you mean.
He doesn't watch crit roll.
Oh, okay, sorry to anyone who doesn't watch Critical Role.
Which is good. Dude,
How would you? So basically, you don't do it on every mob, but you do it on bosses, kind of thing. So when it's a boss and you get the killing hit, I will say to you how would you like to deliver that blow, and you flavor it rather than me talking shit about what happened.
Oh well, basically,
Right.
I've literally sprinted because I've used maxed out my 35 movement, and I basically am just doing a two-handed skewer right into a dragon kick, like a side kick.
Beautiful. So
Straight in-
Orc
straight into the wall.
charges forward, and he strikes home with his spear, and she does kind of crumple as her lifeblood flows down the length of the spear in your hands. However, you're already committed to your course of action, so you swing a roundhouse kick that was intended to strike her in the head. However, as she's now crumpled below it, you kick the wall and take another 1d4's worth of damage. Your nickname's Harvey Wallbanger. Anyway, so she is dead. And guys, this building is on fire. You don't want to be in there very much longer, but you can have a second or two of free actions.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I'm
so
gonna hang around. I'm gonna search.
I'm
secret
still at a
doors.
friend's. I'm
I'm
still at a
gonna
friend's.
search her body. Search secret doors.
All right. So do me a very quick investigation check. Everyone, quickly give me an everyone.
No.
Do you know what it is? I think I run out of rolls. I think it's seriously, man. The 3 times we've done combat, it's like I go in and I absolutely devastate, and then crap rolls. Like
Yeah.
my openers are like unreal, and then I can't finish.
Who was the guy in Crit Roll?
Story of my life.
Of course it was Wesley. Never mind. Anyway, shut up, Wesley. Where were we? Sorry, I had to.
That's all right.
We're searching for secret
Oh
doors.
yeah, give me a
Why
quick
am-
investigation, Andre.
No. Andre's in a frenzy.
He's not the kind to. You are raging. All right. So Orc, you don't see anything
I'm not
special.
just raging. I'm in a frenzy. Like,
rage. You're like, I want to hit more shit.
no. Yeah. So I rolled advantage on my athletics, which is to burst through the back door. But like that's like
It's your standard Saturday night move.
like
isn't it?
that's just literally just me walking through the back door, but not just walking through the back door, just like fucking bursting through the back door. But then and then I smash through the door, and I see you guys like you're all like investigating shit, and I'm just like,
Alright, well,
I don't know
what does Charlim see? Because
Okay,
I'm gonna guess that
yep.
Orc and Andre don't see.
Yeah, correct. You're quite correct. So, Charlene, you do, I mean, based on the situation, it's not by far the most thorough check you might do if time was on your side. But looking over her corpse quite quickly, you do see that it looks like everything of value she has would be contained to her belt pouch. Her armor and her scimitar are unimpressive. They're reasonably
I
common make.
snatched that belt pouch super quick, and I just I just hold it because I don't want it to spill because I'm upside down.
Oh, yeah, you're still on the ceiling. So it feels like there is the weight of some coins in there, but beyond, obviously, for more of a closer examination, you would need to wait. It's a reasonable size, about that big. So, yep, you have that. What are we doing now? Because this building is about to go.
Apparently, I'm not aware of it though.
I start smashing stuff with that old thing to make it look like it was some kind of like weird, insane kind of thing. Like like maybe like a robbery or something.
Okay.
I just start breaking stuff up. In fact, I'm actually going to say to the others, "You guys get out of here. I'll play the mad troll. I'll play the mad troll and the ogre, and just smash off and but you guys leave."
All right. So
I don't know
guys,
if Andre understands that.
are you guys?
Yeah.
So Lon, Orc, and Andre, am I safe to assume you guys do both go outside?
My perception check was so bad, I'm not even sure if I know the place.
You don't
is
even
on
know if you're
fire.
inside or not anymore.
Yeah.
So we'll assume you two do leave. All right. So
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave stealthed in the smoke.
So, look, we are getting to a point where you are starting to hear the wall, the ceiling creak and groan. So Charlem, what I'll say is give me an athletics check for, let's see how successful your breaking is, and then give me a dex check. Let's see if you get the fuck out of there quick time.
Right. My athletics is actually terrible, but that's all
That's
good.
unfortunate. Yeah, but
that
look,
was a good roll
yeah,
for me.
let's say that's a decent roll, and also you're in Titan form still, correct?
Yeah, I'm in Titan form, and I do double damage for objects.
Yeah, so you are smashing the shit out of this place. So there's not a lot of shit in this place, but in a quick jaunt around the room, you pick the table up, smash it down on the ground. Basically, there's a gigantic snake man just absolutely smashing everything asunder in this room. However, you hear the ceiling give one very loud creak, and you make your way towards the door. Can I have a dexterity check, please?
Sure.
We'll go to the back door. Well, I mean, go to the back door. I think the front door would be a bit too far. Well, I mean, it's up to you. But
well, the idea was I was smashing my way through things. I don't want to be seen. I want to split up a little bit.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. That makes sense. And to be fair, we didn't say where you were, and it was free movement, so I'm quite happy for you to have gone to the front door. Let's just show me a dex check just to see if you're able to get out there unharmed as the roof collapses.
How do you do a dex check?
Just click dex.
Just click on dex.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Oh,
So
just click on a dex save for
a moment you get a little bit lost in the exhilarating joy of smashing tables and benches and breaking apart barrels, and it's quite cathartic. You're working off whatever issues snake people have. I don't know. So basically, and you get quite lost in it. And then you start to hear the creaking, and you're brought back to the real world immediately in front of you, and you're like, oh shit, I've broken enough, I need to get the fuck out of here. And you start sprinting towards the door as there is one last loud crashing creak. You actually burst outwards through the front door onto the main street. It is the middle of the night, so there doesn't appear to be a lot of people around. What we might say there is I will assume that you guys are able to use the cover of night to get away very, very, very promptly and quickly. In fact, do tell me how you guys go about that. So
I want to leave the town. I think I want to. I think I want to get out of Dodge.
Okay, sure.
Well, just really quickly. So just really quickly, just to go back a second. So this is the first time that I've physically seen Shalim do his transformation and into like his Titan form, and then so basically, so Andre, like after, like this is the first time that he's seen actually Shalim like transform into his like Titan form or whatever it is. Anyway, and so Andre, so up until this point, Andre's always on, like, in the back of his mind, Andre's always felt like Shalim just like a pathetic little fucking piece of shit. That that Andre just working for him because he was willing to pay him, and because he didn't know this, he didn't understand this new land that he's living in, and so he thought that he could take advantage of Shalim to sort of teach him like the ways of this new land. But then all of a sudden, like even though Andre was in a frenzy, like in the heat of battle, he noticed. Yeah. But I noticed that Shalim all of a sudden, like, turned into this like big fucking monster, and like was actually holding himself in a fight, and so and like Andre won't admit this in public, but Andre is impressed.
He's had a revelation.
Yeah. No. Like basically, Andre has a whole new level of respect for Shalim. That previously, like Shalim was just an employer. He was just like a boss, and like okay, so like Andre's not going to publicly admit this, but Andre does now have a level of respect for Shalim that he never had before. Like I thought Shalim was a fucking pathetic piece of shit that I was just using my advantage because he was willing to pay me to be his bodyguard.
I would say Shalim is being pretty noisy. So Orc and Andre can probably hear Shalim running out towards. So I know where the caravan thing is, running towards the south gate. So in Daggerford, there's like the caravan bit, and then there's like this. It's actually not south. It's actually west.
Yeah. So I won't publicly admit it, but Andre now has a new level of respect for Shalim that I didn't have before, and it's just like yeah.
How
like,
cute. Now kiss.
Just turn to Andre and be like, so are you aroused too?
All right, so you two, what we'll do for now, let's go to Shalim. And so Shalim, what are you doing to escape? We'll switch back to Orc and Andre as they're on the other side of the building in a few moments.
Okay, so I'm heading out what I believe is the west. Yes, it is. It's the west gate. And I'm making a loud noise, and I'm happy for. Oh, actually, are there guards? Is the town locked up at night?
Yeah, they're. I mean, not locked up, but there are guards at the gates. They would probably only lock it if there was, a threat from outside. But there are two kind of rather sleepy-looking guardsmen standing there.
I'm just before they wake up. I'm just gonna spider climb over the gate. I'm just gonna walk up. I'm gonna run up that vertical surface, hands free, maybe even throw in a couple of random firebolts. I'm just bolting over the top and then just bolting west.
All right, so that's Shalim. He's straight out of Dodge. So Andre and Orc, what did you guys want to do? Probably the places you're immediately aware of in Daggerford would be either where your rooms at the Dagger's Rest or perhaps Benala's safe house, though I do, of course, leave it up to you guys to judge. The literal ground is yours. I wouldn't say floor, but ground.
Where were we supposed to meet up afterwards?
Well, you did never discuss that, funnily enough.
Who planned this thing?
Okay, so Andre's still in a completely violent, rageful frenzy, and so Shalim's retreated. Shalim's fucked off.
Shalim's not very bright.
So Orc's still there, but it's like, there's no more enemies around. So basically, Andre's just gonna like smash through like the back door, and then once he does so, once he realizes that there's no more enemies around, it is sort of like take a couple of seconds to calm down, and then sort of like by instinct sort of realize like, okay, where would Shalim have sort of gone, like back to like the tavern that we would have discussed earlier, and then so I'll take a few seconds I'll take a few seconds to calm down after I've smashed out the back door, and then I'll see if is Orc around.
Yeah, you two are standing next to each other.
Yeah, I'm following him.
Yeah.
All right. So, what approach are we taking? Are you guys running? Nonchalance? What are we doing?
Okay, so basically,
after he's calmed down.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So after I burst out the back door, I just I take a couple of seconds to calm down, and then I see Orc there beside me, and I just and then just sort of calmly,
beautiful.
The sun is getting low, big guy.
So you guys both take very
very and then. Okay, and then we basically sort of work out that we need to go back to the tavern where we're assuming Charlim is going to be.
So the two parties, now two parties take very different approaches. Charlim runs screaming headlong into the night, flames and.
But Charlim, even though. Earlier, I said
no, you don't hear him. You guys have gone in completely separate directions.
But even though I said earlier that I had a little bit of respect for him after seeing what he did, I had a little bit more respect for him, but I still think he's a pussy piece of shit because he ran away, and especially because he ran away.
He ran away. You literally have no idea.
I have a little bit more respect for him, but I'm not saying I totally respect him. I have a little bit.
You literally could not see him run away. He went through the other side, and you guys were split. So in terms of what his reaction was, it was unseen to you. But you guys have both taken very different approaches. Charlotte runs screaming into the night, gets to the city gates, does not stop. Spider climbs straight over them and keeps going. The sleepy guards, not expecting any sort of action for the dead of the night, he goes unnoticed. Where Orc and Andre, however, take a bit more of a casual approach and slowly drift off into the night, making their way to the Dagger's Rest Tavern. Shalim, what was it?
I'm just saying, I'm just going to say, because I can only be big for 1 minute.
Okay.
So that whole combat was probably just under that.
Yep.
But Charlene would have recast it, so he can do no more Titan shit.
Okay.
Until he rests. He's done.
All right, so we will actually call things to a halt there where we leave them. The party is somewhat split. We will figure out how we resolve that when we resolve that. And also there will obviously need to be another meeting between Charlim and Benalla. But all of those fun, whimsical adventures will, alas, have to wait for another night, because this is stream number 2 of 3, and I've got to stream me gack. And it's also midnight, 15 minutes past midnight.
And we'll get to find out what run into Inkari and Clive.
Where's Clive been?
Exactly.
He's written a short story.
Exactly. Where's Clive been all this time?
So Clive said he's written a short story to explain where he is.
We're running into him on the way back to.
We definitely need more Clive. We need a lot more Clive. Clive is a hilarious motherfucker. If you guys haven't seen Clive, see Clive. He's awesome.
You guys you don't have to make up this big lie like there's some other person that shows up sometimes.
A lot of it's just like
Don't
whenever
be jealous.
Like you don't even believe he exists. Anyway, guys, we will.
I'm out. Yeah.
We'll keep it pretty short and sweet. I won't do the normal goodbyes because we all got shit to do. And thank you very much, Crimp. I know it's some god awful time over in Kanakistan.
7:15 a.m.
Brutal. We do appreciate your very early rise for us, especially with the technical
Thank
issues
you.
we had. Andre, thank you. Crimsonus, Toe, thank you. Crimsonus, thank you. Wolf, thank you. You guys all have a good night. Chat, have a good night. For anyone who cares about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, I'll be back in about 45 minutes for yet another stream. Loving Twitch today. All right, guys, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
I can't.
Good night.
Where's my mouse? Where's my